weird on my arm, but other than that, all right.
This is you know. Do you sleep on your arm to where it's like you have a dead arm, I suppose?
Only occasionally, like maybe once every 3 months or so.
I found that if you put a pillow between your arms, because I actually can't sleep unless I'm sideways, and I used to
Yeah,
get
same.
dead arm all the time, but if I just put a pillow in between my head and my arm, I feel comfortable and I'm able to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I normally do, but sometimes I just sleep on it wrong, and it just hurts in the morning. And today's one of those days, so
For everyone
it's
else,
never
or for people future listening, CWA DrunkCAST 2, the first two are now lost tapes, no longer to be found. Um, just posting we live. All right, no longer to be found. So this is the second one. Taylor's on the mic for the first time ever, as far as you guys know.
right.
Um,
Yeah, I've never said anything regretful on the podcast whatsoever.
we got
No,
Taylor, Trent, maybe Sinbad joining later if he's not playing any video games. Um, so real
it's
quick,
it's definitely a different cast than I think the last few times I've been on. It's just been you, Jason, and Jules. So I don't think I've ever done this with Trent before.
Trent last week, it was actually me, him, and Jules, and I would say it was a really solid podcast. The only thing that sucked was audio was kind of low, but I hope now it'll be much higher when I upload it to YouTube. All right.
Yeah, here's open.
So, real quick, for anyone, I am drinking a homemade michelada this time. Always nice to have. Trent, you got anything on deck? Trent. All right, what about you, Taylor? You got anything tonight, or are you?
Should I? I mean, I don't, but I have an edible sitting right next to me. I can pop that if you want.
I'm not gonna stop you. How long do those take to take into effect?
These ones have varied for me from 45 minutes to 4 hours.
No. Well, sorry. To the first reaction, how long does it take?
To the first reaction?
Yeah. Like from you eating it to feeling something.
Yeah, like I was saying, about 45 minutes to 4 hours with these ones.
Well, I'm gonna say yellow in any case. It's up to you. Sky's
I'll
in the
do it.
chat. Hey, Sky, how's it going? We got Hellraid and Trent up right now. Trent, I don't believe he sounded like he came back for a second, but I think he's still getting his drink.
Mm. Dude, I'm so mad. The shit that I have, I don't know why I grabbed it. I can't show it off. But they're like those peach rings or those like
Yeah, the
trolley
caddies.
rings. You know what I'm talking
Yep.
about? Yeah. They're like gummies. And these ones are blue raspberry flavored.
hmm
And holy shit, blue raspberry is so fucking good for these things, but I can only find them for edibles.
So you're trying to find the actual candy and not get high all the time, but you're you're
Yeah,
finding no
pretty much.
luck apparently.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What you do is take them to a lab and get them extracted out, and then probably go to jail for doing that. But we'll have figured out how to do it.
I should be fine. I'm white.
If you go to any gas station, you can usually find those weird peach rings, or you might. The sharks look like they'd be the same flavor. I don't know.
I've never seen the sharks, but yeah, it's specifically like the blue raspberry flavor that I want because it's so good. It's so good with that texture, man.
Taylor, usually on here, we go over the previous week's tournaments just real quick as a recap and see kind of what happened. I don't believe there was a Walla Walla Wallop. Is that correct?
No, because of some family stuff. Well, okay, yours was on Wednesday, right?
Um,
Like, was it? Did you talk about the tournament that Sin won, or last week?
yeah, we got to talk about that one last week. But we're talking about the current week. I don't believe there was one. Um,
Yeah. Let me see what happened for my tournament. I don't
you
remember.
don't even remember your own tournament?
Dude, I've done 26 of these things now, and I'm half asleep for most of them. Like, I don't think you guys
At this point, you're
understand when
just
I
a
run
body.
those.
You're
Yeah.
just functioning.
So, yeah, no, what happens when I'm running them? So those tournaments, like, I start streaming at 1:30. I tend to wake up at like 1:15 sometimes. So,
Can I tell you one thing, dude? One thing that
yeah.
does bug me about your tournament is your commentary sucks, dude. Not your commentary, but like the group commentary sucked.
Yeah. So okay, like the one time, the one that you were talking about was the first time we really did group commentary, and we did it as a more laid back thing of kind of a more chill tournament, and we did that because oh by the way, Skitsu ended up winning, and you could kind of see like with that tournament, it was more of a laid back tournament because there was no invaders, no PR players, so I figure if anything that we're gonna do a more laid back approach for it, we'd do that one. But if you want like some decent analytical commentary. Me and Faneblade have done a few sets before, and those tend to go pretty well. I think once you get like four people with two of them not really like. I mean, Neos and Fortissimo, they're fine players, right? But like,
Can I talk a little trash about Neos?
yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, don't hate him as a person. Obviously, I don't even hate
I
him.
fucking love you, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of commentary, dude, this guy is literally two different things. He's either like, "Oh, bro, this is always gonna happen. This is always working." No, or he's like, "This would never fucking work. This will never happen. I can't even believe." And the funny thing is, dude, at one point during the tournament, he said, yeah, because of Wonder Wing, what is it? Jesse can never really camp him, as Jesse's actively and successfully camping him. Like as he's actively and successfully camping him, taking stage control, he's like, yeah, it would never work. And I'm like, dude, it's like he has these predetermined things he's gonna say and not even really talking about the match. And it just, oh gosh, it bugs me. Like I don't hate the dude, he's a really cool dude, but like his commentary I hate so much.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of just trying to get more just talking about like the players, what's going on, and not talking specifically about the match. Right? I feel like if you really want like good match commentary, you need people that are at least really good players or particularly good players, right? That do the analytical stuff a little bit more.
I get what you're saying because then you can analyze really what's happening in the little. You know, because a lot of people say, "Oh, why'd that hit? Oh, that was a sick read or something." But it's like, if you look over the distance of a match, it's like, well, he set that up. There's reasons that worked. You know what I mean? It's not just that
Yeah.
it worked or, oh my gosh, that was so sick. It's like, why did
Actually,
that work?
my favorite thing in early Smash Ultimate, I would just do auto cancel down air with Falco at ledge, right? And then I would fade back onto stage, and then I would hit the down air. It's like, oh my god, what a read! He got that. It's like, no, dude, it's safe to go for
You're
it. Just cover
throwing it out.
options.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's nothing about that was a read at all.
Yeah, it's a lot of commentators in Smash. I get it because like you don't have to be amazing in it to be a good commentator. There are a lot of different intangibles that can make you a good commentator, whether it's analytical, being really funny, being quick-witted, things like that.
Yeah, just entertaining. Sometimes people just want to hear some like just some noise, really,
yeah.
just some people talking about having a conversation. Like I feel like the approach that we had for that tournament was more almost like a podcast, to be honest.
But sometimes some
Hey,
people
what's
aren't
going
any
on?
of that.
Yeah, no, like say what you will about Neos, right? Say what you will about Neos or Fortissimo. At the very least, they're entertaining.
Yeah, at the very least, they are
mean,
able to
what
fill
would-
space, whereas some people.
What would
just
you
let it
say about
die.
Neos?
What would I say about Neos? I
Yeah.
love making fun of him. I like making fun of his Pokemon trainer. That's about it. I mean, I like Neos a lot as a person. He's pretty cool to talk to. He's always down to talk about whatever. So
All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
1 second. Trent, talk real quick.
Hey, what's good?
Okay, you're coming just a little bit low. Are you able to bring it closer to you, or?
This is about as loud as I can get it.
Okay, that's a little better, but not too bad. All right, that
Can you
should work.
right click my face?
Right click your dog? A little...
Yeah.
Can you explain what that dog? Yeah, I see it. You want me to put that to 125 or so?
Just put it a little bit higher, whatever sounds better for you, man.
Let me put it like 135.
I'm just gonna keep talking, whatever feels good to you, dude.
Actually, I need to toss you to about 140. Okay, that should be fine.
140. All right, we good? We Gucci?
Yeah. Talk. Go ahead. Talk.
We Gucci, my Brucci?
yeah, that is. The more I look at it, that's such a good profile picture.
Yeah,
Dude, it's
I love that.
fire.
So Trent, I know you actually wanted to come up with some topics today. Is that right?
Yeah, I had a few things that I had wanted to chat about specifically, but other than that, I'm just shoot the shit.
What we had started off with was just talking about the last 2 weeks, or the last week's results, which there wasn't a wallop to my understanding. And then for Taylor's tournament, he doesn't even remember what happened, but I was saying the commentary sucked.
Yeah, Skitsu versus Fool. Skitsu versus Fool was grand finals.
Yeah.
Mugen was there, but he wasn't really trying.
That's
Okay.
correct. Yes. Which,
Isn't that kind of like a?
which you can say after you lose.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see the Twitch clip of him just like walking into Wolf Laser for like 30
I didn't
seconds?
see anything.
Hey, you can say that after you lose. As it was happening. You can't say that. Maybe he was
Are
trying
you
to
guys
mess with his head.
implying? Are you guys implying
Sure.
that I care about Super Smash Brothers?
Yes.
Yes. You guys were
Oh,
playing
okay.
Smash right before this. I'm not letting that go. I'm letting everyone know.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
You're at
let's see.
Sunken 100, dude.
So as
Hey,
far as
One
the
quick
dog goes,
thing.
so
Yo,
What
what is that? What are those
this is the
images?
menswear doge.
What
The
are
menswear
those images, though?
Yes. This is the most beautiful thing to ever grace this
That
planet.
has to be all cropped, right? Like at a
No,
shop?
no. They're real pictures. They dress up their dog.
You're lying.
No, let me get you the website for him.
There's a fucking website to this shit.
I like that last
Yeah.
one.
Like it's literally the menswear dog,
Oh
the
my
most stylish
gosh,
dog in
this
the
is
world.
That last
Here.
one.
I
That
thought
last
you had
one.
just
There's
photoshopped
that.
them onto you or something. This is glorious. Or I'll have to look
All
at
right.
that later. But
I dropped the link real fast.
Oh, dude, that's glorious. I really didn't expect it to be a whole thing. Although,
Yeah.
in this day and age in the internet, what isn't? I suppose.
But yeah, I fucking love menswear doge. Like very high quality and like I mean, look, these are the best profile pictures. Like you can't beat them. I just sort of cycle through them. In fact, it's probably time for me to change. Let me go ahead and
You got to pick a high T, like a high quality, super. I will degrade you if it's worse than the one you currently have. Because you have a lot of winners here to pick from.
I never thought I would see the value coming from Tumblr.
Let's see.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tumblr stole this, and so you're really not seeing any value yet again.
Yeah, maybe.
It's we're going into fall, so let's do like this. This is like a fall doge.
So you guys might notice me looking down a couple times. I am looking at the current first NFL game, which I won't actually make into a topic because I know both of y'all don't watch NFL too much.
Yeah,
but I'm
sorry.
gonna be looking at it from here and there. It's tied 7-7.
Yeah, let the season get a
nice.
few weeks in, and I'll probably be talking about it and paying attention a bit more.
All right, there we go.
I will say that's an equal trade, but not better.
Oh, that's fine. Like it's fall. I need to be wearing some fall fashions.
So you guys saw the smoke storm on Monday. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, what the hell?
Dude,
That was
it's
insane.
smoky right now as well, but yeah, on
Not
Monday,
smoky
like
as it was on Monday, yeah. Sorry.
no, on Monday shit was red. It like fucking looked like we were on Mars.
So if I heard this correctly, it's because of a gender reveal party that went wrong. And
No, that was the
Not
one
that
in
one.
Cali.
No. I think there was two, dude. I think there was one in Washington and one in Cali.
The thing that happened in Washington was something else. It was not a gender reveal
I
party.
will
though.
blame gender reveal parties in any case. Gender reveal parties are the dumbest fucking thing, dude. No one gives a flying fuck that it's a 50-50 chance, dude. I could just guess your fucking gender. And I'd be right
Okay.
50% of the time.
So, I think that gender reveal parties as a whole can be neat.
I
They're
think there'll
not
be
never
less now.
necessary. They're never necessary. And why the fuck would you use explosives? Like that is just
That's extra, right?
shenanigans. Yeah, like the original one was just a lady cutting into a cake because they'd been trying for like
Dude.
8 years to have a kid because they'd gone through like 12 miscarriages.
Yeah, now it's Becky fucking
And-
nobody who has like her 5th child, and no one cares at that point. Now it's
Exactly.
just a void of depression and anxiety that is going into that party.
It was meant to be something that was very, very special and unique, and it's become something that is overused and has burned God's gift to California.
Look, if you're cutting a cake and it's the color of your gender, oh, that's fine. Fuck it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Mexicans, we have any excuse to throw a party, and we'll fucking do it. Any excuse. But if you're doing all that dumb shit, burning down an entire state, yeah, you should be held liable for that, and I think of you less as a human being.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Needless to say, my wife actually wants a gender reveal party, and I don't think less of her for that, but also because she's not gonna be throwing fireworks out the fucking ass.
Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna be something that's cute and small, and like have a party, enjoy yourselves. If you want to celebrate the gender of your kid, do it. Like if you want to be excited about it's a boy, it's a girl, and you want to make that a deal out of it, fucking do it. Like
I really
it's
hope my
whatever.
next kid doesn't ever find out about this. Uh, and knows that I didn't want their gender reveal party. But you know
I
what?
mean,
They weren't even born, so
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean this is only going on the internet forever.
I I actually, to be honest, I don't think parties are even necessary or worth it until like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Cause
The
like
parties aren't for the kids when they're that young. The parties are for the parents to help the kids because, like, let's be real, there are a lot of work, and that's it.
right, I understand that there's a lot of cost. You know, I'm even fine with what is the first party? Not the gender reveal party, but what is it that everyone does?
Baby
Like,
shower?
yeah, baby shower. Okay, I'm all for that because really it's nice to just help out your friends and you know having a child is a big investment.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, sure.
a lot of people say you'll be spending what I don't know, like $250,000 to $1,000,000 on a single kid. I don't know about the truth about that, but
Yep.
like you will
No,
be
no,
spending a
that sounds about
significant
right.
amount of money on that child. So helping out your friends here and there, especially when it's a small one-time thing, I don't mind that at all. Um,
Yeah.
I personally I do have I just can't see the importance of a party, even the way you're saying, until they're at least 3.
Yeah. Again, I kind of feel like they are just extended baby showers where if
Yeah.
you are having a child's birthday when they're like 1 or 2, you are basically just going to be getting more material to help raise them. It's not necessarily for their enjoyment or for them to have a good time. It's for the parents.
Yeah.
Taylor, since
More-
I'm not sure you're going to be hopping into this too much, do you plan on having children, and if so, how many?
I'd like to have children someday. Much later in my life, but preferably 2, boy and a girl.
Now, when you're in your 40s, how young is your wife going to be?
That's a good question for him.
Uh,
Now, it doesn't have to be your current wife. Well, currently you don't have any. It doesn't have to be your first wife. But how young is your
Wow.
wife going to be when you're 40?
me as the only one not in a relationship. All right.
No, I'm saying you're going to be a baller, dude. You have multiple marriages? Fuck it. That's the
Yeah.
life. Again,
Big
please
10 out
don't
of
tell
10,
my
man.
wife.
How old is she? I mean, like, as long as she's not like significantly younger or significantly older than me, it's like I'm not as inclined to care. I'm more inclined to care about general sort of personality and how well that kind of meshes with mine. So, I mean, probably plus or minus 5 years my own age, maybe a little bit wider.
Yeah, that's. You know, even when I was like 23, so that plus or minus 5 isn't actually a bad thing. That's usually around the length people marry.
Yeah.
Dude, especially when I was like 22, 23, even at that point, I looked at 18-year-olds and I'm like, I just can't do it. I can't do
Yeah.
an extended relationship with them.
You guys know the math for that, right? Like what it scientifically is or isn't weird.
Scientifically, huh?
Yeah.
What-
Half your age plus 7.
That I don't think that's science, but all right.
No, that's fucking science, man.
I've heard of this actually. So, so if you're 18, it'd be what? 9 plus 7, 16? Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
If you're 24, it would be 19, I believe.
If you're 80, it's once exponentially. I guess it's
Exactly.
good that humans die because it starts getting trash around.
Well,
like,
no, 80, 47. Like, don't marry somebody that's below 47 or get with somebody that's below 47.
Dude, if I was a 47-year-old dating a 80-year-old, I know at that point I'm just trying to like secure my future.
Yikes. But yeah, you're right.
I mean, realistically, right?
Okay, so I don't disagree with the rule necessarily, right? But I gotta ask, what's the sort of citation behind this being science? I'm very curious.
Oh, I don't fucking know. I've just heard it.
No. I remember one day in biology I heard something like this, because the teacher was trying to hit on people around that range, and
Yeah.
I gotta go along with it. If a teacher said that, then it's probably true.
Yeah.
Also, a teacher probably never said this. Don't ever go after my teachers. They're pretty cool.
I mean, a teacher once told me the Holocaust was a lie. So like, I don't think you can always trust the teacher on this.
No, hold on. Like really? Like
Yeah.
ironically or joking?
It was a sub, but yeah, like real shit.
Well, maybe there's a reason they didn't get vested yet.
Yikes.
Kindergarten was a crazy year.
I mean, my teacher once told me they cared about my future, so.
Huh?
Never mind.
No. Say that again.
I said my teacher once told me they cared about my future, so I guess
Aw.
teachers do lie.
Yikes. That's sad.
I guess I did get a physical once, but I don't think it should have been for my teacher.
Jesus. Jesus.
It was mostly him getting physical.
Yikes. Wait, are you guys? Wait,
Oh, that kicked in faster than I thought it would.
do you guys not remember Dick Inspection Day? That wasn't just my school, right? Everyone had that.
Oddly enough, it was Bring Your Parents to School Day the same day.
Yeah.
So Trent, I don't think you
What's
know
up?
this, but to kind of join along the festivities, Hellraid has decided to take a couple edibles.
Oh Jesus Christ, man.
He said it kicked in already.
Heck raid.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up my bed. It's getting weird to sit down.
It cannot be that strong, dude. Hold
It's
on.
not that strong. It's like I prefer to lie down. My bed sounds very comfortable right now, and my bed
Yeah.
has.
So, Trent, do you want to hit
What's
us
up?
with the first topic of the day? That you
Sure,
wanted to
actually.
Go over?
The first topic that I wanted to talk about is this son of a bitch right here.
What is this? Watch.
It's called
Stream?
Rushdown. Yeah. This is called Rushdown
Just
Revolt.
click that
It's a new platform fighter
Okay.
that was put into alpha today, free to play.
So I don't think I can actually watch this for significantly long because my computer sucks. But I'm giving him the
Sure.
gist of it. It looks basically like Rivals and
Kind
Smash.
of. It's a mixture between a platform fighter and an anime fighter.
Yeah, I know
So
there's different. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So there's a lot. People have health bars. You can also hit them off the stage. The higher their health, the lower their health, the further they go, like you would in Smash. So it's a mixture between stamina battles and,
Oh.
yeah, and normal battles. So like I can still fall off the map. I can still have anything like that. There's ledges. There's wave dashing. And currently, it's completely free to play. The beta came out today.
So I'm not sure I heard the part where what makes it a stamina battle.
So like you have a health bar.
Yeah,
So stamina like in Smash Bros.
So,
yeah.
so once the health bar gets depleted, you go further?
You die.
Well, no, I'm sorry, but like once it starts depleting, you go further? Is that
Correct.
right?
That is correct.
Oh, that's interesting, actually.
So you can do both, and there's edge guarding as well. That's yeah, I like that. That seems very interesting.
Yeah. And currently there's a fairly diverse cast. I haven't seen much of the game yet. Honestly, this is my first time playing it. You guys were seeing that right there. But
Playing it,
I
like actually
downloaded.
playing it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can you play? Can you play online with people?
Yeah. It's also rollback netcode.
So I guess
Trent,
I
do you
didn't
wanna
hear
play
this.
this on
It must have
Sunday on
been. Go for it.
What were you saying, Tay?
Trent, do you want to play this on Sunday on stream?
Sunday on stream?
I think it said Sunday.
I stream on Sunday, bud.
What's up?
I mean, yeah, actually, I'm set to stream on Sunday as well, so we could just do it on both of our streams.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how long the alpha is going to exist, since it is. Oh, there's one with platform. There's a walk-off one. Ugh. Every stage has normal and then walk-off. Absolutely
Is it 4 player,
disgusting.
more than 4 player?
8, I believe.
Nice.
Really?
Six player
Oh,
match.
Okay.
One of the biggest draws to me of Smash Ultimate in terms of a casual audience is 8 players, right? In terms of like the Switch and just any console game in general, getting 8 players on a single game is actually really hard to find. You'll only be
Huh.
finding games like Jackbox or something like that, which
So there's a lot of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
which to be fair are really fun, party games, but it's really hard to find a really active party game with 8 players, and the fact that they're able to do that with Smash is one of the biggest draws. So, anything with more players that you can do at a given time is a plus for me.
Yeah. So the modes that exist are kind of wonky. So there's one here called Footsies.
Oh, I guess you should type the actual name of the game down there.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Because
Give me a second.
I mean, we saw it. I guess I could watch it a little bit longer.
It's called Rushdown Revolt. I'll go ahead and drop that right here. But like the names of the modes that exist, I don't know what these are currently. But Footsies, Tag Team, Competitive Teams, Gauntlet, Frenzy,
Please
Training,
play Footsies. That sounds very interesting.
Limitless. Oh, everyone has. Oh, these are cool costumes actually.
Footsies
So,
in
like-
terms of fundamentals is basically in any video game.
Yeah. So you have your base costume here, but then like you have a bunch of alternate skins like this.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and load into Footsie, see what this is like.
One of the while you play that, one of the biggest gripes I have about Ultimate, they are really lacking in terms of Ultimate costumes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There is so much they could be doing in terms of Mario. Any character actually, they have so many cool alternates.
Like goddamn Nintendo, release a costume pack and then like a fucking Echo Fighter pack.
Dude, I would pay the fuck out of the right costume packs. Like I would buy it. I'd just straight up buy it. They'd make so much goddamn money.
This character's weird.
Can you jump, or is it just straight up left and right?
Oh, you can't jump because it's
Yeah,
Footsies.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're just playing Street Fighter almost. Well, actually, not even. You're just straight up playing footsies, which sucks because you're going against someone with a sword.
But like I have 2 people. Like I can push my companion and I can swap between them.
So it looks like we could actually watch this without losing frames, so that's good.
Yeah.
So we'll just watch this for a little bit longer and then I'll end it because otherwise it's kind of not good content. But okay, so this is the game. Normally you're able to jump around. It kind of looks like Smash. That's just straight up small battlefield.
Guys, there's a wave dash button.
A button dedicated to it?
Yeah, so people can just wave dash because they suck.
Yeah, it's not an uncommon thing.
Yeah.
What it is normally, there's a wave dash button, but it's fixed length.
I wouldn't mind both a wave dash and a pivot button.
Easy.
Just bring those techs back, man. They're so good for ground game.
Yeah, Smash Ultimate's terrible for microspacing.
It is so awful that you just have to do a general style, and it's so lame. I just feel so lame playing that game.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Smash 4 was pretty lame, too, because it was more defensive, but at least you got to style around.
Yeah, just pivoting back and forth. That's always so fun to do.
Yeah.
I do miss that. There's not a lot that I miss about Smash 4, but that is one thing.
So that's a pretty cool looking game. I'll probably have to play it, especially because it's 6-player.
Yeah, no, like it looks really cool. I know that the alpha is free right now, but I don't know if it's going to stay that way when it actually releases. And it seems interesting. Like the characters each have individuality that you're not seeing in something like what was that other fighting game? That other platform fighter that
Rivals.
not Rivals. Rivals had a lot of
Icons?
individuality. Yep, Icons. That's the problem that Icons had, in my opinion. Like there wasn't enough individuality in the characters. It was just all sort of. We're a
Well, it had a
Smash
super-
clone. We're
Yeah,
a
I mean, it had a
Smash clone.
It had a super generic art style, and the models were a little bit too small to actually see much about the individuality of the characters. So, despite several like players standing by that the game had very good mechanics, it just never caught on because of that.
Exactly.
Yep.
It looked wonky, and none of the characters were really like you. Never had somebody who was like, "Yeah, I'm a this character main," like because that wasn't really there.
Yeah. No, there's
It's-
something about game feel in general, right? It's like the presentation, just how the game feels, the sound effects. There's something that's very appealing to that, and that can go a long way of, really pulling more out of a game that might not be as mechanically complex.
Yeah.
Well, even game design, right? Because there are some games that people consider really, really good. Even pros consider really, really good. But if you just don't have the right look, if you don't have the right, I don't know, man. Sometimes it does matter, like how you look for or
Oh,
what
absolutely.
you do.
Yeah.
I want to say
Like Prince of Persia remake.
I still haven't seen that. You keep ragging on that, but I have not seen that.
It looks so fucking bad.
I will look at it later, but so people are gonna rag on this game for a lot of reasons, and a lot of them being just mechanically different. But mechanically, it was a sound game. But Marvel vs. Capcom, the most recent one, or no,
Infinite?
Infinite. Yeah, a lot of pros actually say it's a really, really good game.
Oh, it is a fucking good game.
But in terms of being a Marvel vs. Capcom game, it wasn't. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it dropped the ball because you didn't have basically any of the classic characters.
Yeah. So I know the only thing I really know about the roster of that game is that
It was all promotional.
So the Resident Evil characters from Capcom, they didn't have Chris, they didn't have Jill, they didn't have Wesker. They had Nemesis for some reason.
If I remember correctly, most of the a lot of Capcom characters, I think it was Marvel characters, just didn't make it in at all. Like there was no X-Men.
There were very few, and the ones that tended to get in were just the newer ones in the MVC that
Yeah.
they were promoting at the time.
MVC got in, but none of the X-Men. Sony said no, so they could not get any of the X-Men characters. So Wolverine was not allowed in the game.
Which, by the way, if you're a fan of MVC, they've been there for so long.
Oh yeah,
I think
from
Wolverine
the
was from
original.
the beginning. Yes.
Yeah. So like everyone they added in was just raw MVC characters. Like they added in Winter Soldier, Gamora, Black Widow, Black Panther, Doctor Strange.
And these aren't bad characters. It's just that they should be added on top of other characters.
This is this is the MCU characters.
Right,
it's
right,
not diving into Marvel. This isn't Marvel versus Capcom. This is MVC. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is the
MCU.
This is the MCU VC.
MVC.
Yeah, versus Capcom.
So
And
Trent, you were saying,
Yeah.
and I know we've talked about this a little before, but you said you were you stream Sundays. What do you happen to stream? Is it? I know you like to do speedruns. We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Is it primarily speedruns? Do you stream anything else? What?
Speedruns are my main thing. I'm starting to get into other types of media though. My thought this Sunday was just to hang out and play some Persona 4 Golden because I haven't actually played through that. So it might be a little cringy, but I'm wanting to, play through it and just voice the characters while I'm going through and just, vibe and have a good time with all the other people hanging out.
That isn't the most recent Persona, is that right? There was a Persona 5?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, which is a remake of 5. Is Scramble out yet? Do you know that, Tay?
I really honestly don't know much about. Oh, Taylor. He's talking about Persona.
Yeah, did Scramble come out?
I've never played Persona.
Okay, Scramble came out in February, yeah. Which is a different game. It's kind of like Dynasty Warriors, but it's Persona. And it has a new story.
Do you find yourself streaming only once a week, or?
Currently, I'm on a once-a-week schedule, yeah. I might end up doing more if my stream starts picking up some popularity, but I want to put more time into game dev right now.
And Taylor,
dude, it's so hard. It's so hard to actually get popularity on stream. Like, so I can say, so for streaming stuff, right? Like, I stream on the weekends, right? And now Mondays, actually, too. But as soon as I stopped streaming every single day, that's when I stopped picking up any steam. Because when I started out for the first few months, I was getting about 20 followers every single week. Then I stopped streaming for a bit and focus on other stuff like the Dark Souls video that is coming, I swear. But streaming like even streaming like half that time, still like a consistent schedule, right? Just like viewership and new following just completely plummeted.
I mean, that's sort of how it goes. Like,
All right. So since you guys both stream, I'll let you talk. For anyone who doesn't know, I have an overactive bladder, and also I need a beer up again. So I'll be right back.
thank you for sharing that information, Jose.
So Trent, you were saying streaming?
Yeah. I do want to stream more, but I can't find a reason in myself to stream more than I currently am if I'm not doing something. Like, I don't really spend time playing games much anymore. I spend
Yeah.
time hanging out with my wife, and I spend time working on my projects. Streaming is the time that I really get to hang out and vibe with the bros. And if I'm speedrunning, I'm going to be streaming, but currently that's only once a week.
Yeah.
And
Now my oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I feel like in the trap of because like what I do is I mostly like streaming games for the like that I play for the first time and doing them on stream. But I get into this sort of thing of like if there's a new game that I want to play, I feel almost obligated to save that for stream. So it's like getting into it's like I can't enjoy games as much anymore because whenever I'm playing them for the first time, I feel like I'm just throwing away content.
Yeah. I vibe with that. Like, there are some games that I still do play by myself because honestly, well, this might sound shitty, but I don't really care that much about the content that I give people. I care about enjoying my time while I'm streaming. I do want to stream as well because, it's fun. Like, I enjoy being able to interact with the chat and go through things like that. But I want to make sure that I'm enjoying my time as well so that I can be the best me that I can be while I'm there.
Yeah. Well, it's also I think both of us, like you do game development stuff, I'm doing video stuff. So we both also have like Twitch is the place that we really go to for our creative endeavors. We both have something that we do outside of that, and we don't like I'm not really looking to pursue like a new sort of reinventing myself or doing a bunch of new and
That's not your
interesting and
emoji.
novel.
Sorry.
I fucking
But I'm
love
not
my
looking.
emote.
Oh, that's so good! Wow. Oh, that's so good. But I'm not looking to do a bunch of new creative stuff and constantly having to reinvent what the stream content is, and doing things like. Yeah, okay, so Ludwig's a great fucking streamer, right? He's constantly doing new things, figuring out new ways to make his stuff entertaining, and is always growing his audience.
Oh,
and that's
fuck yeah.
great. That's great. But that's not what I really want to do with streaming. I want it to be a more laid back thing. Like game development, that's something that takes a lot of creativity to do, a lot of time and effort to really think about. And then what I'm doing with the video making is a similar sort of thing as well. It's like, I don't want this to be what I have to do. Like I'm already directing enough of that towards one project.
Yeah, exactly. Like, streaming is a great hobby. I don't want streaming to be my career. So I'll still stream once a week because I want to do it and I want to make that commitment to do it once a week. But like, I don't think that I'm ever going to put in the majority of my time into that.
Yeah. Nah, I feel that, and I'm doing it like on the weekends and still giving content for people because I have about 15 people that are consistently subbed to me. So, people are giving me money. I'm going to make sure that they're at least getting their money's worth, right?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that, man.
Now,
I currently have...
What I don't know, you guys are saying, I don't know about streaming if I'd want to be a full-time streamer. However, if you were getting paid the big fucking bucks, streaming I don't think is a bad way to go.
Yeah, no, you're not.
If you're getting paid the big fucking bucks, which means you have to suffer for 5 years while being unsuccessful and making pennies and eating rice for those years, and you're gonna be working a different.
Okay, it's not just. You're right that it is worth if it pays off, but the sort of thing about that, right? And it might not necessarily be as extreme as Trent is saying. But there is a large amount of time where you're building something up. But it's not just that. Is that it's a creative enterprise, and one in which you have to build a brand and have some unique voice or image to stand out as something novel to be able to do that. It's not so much as like the success is not a guaranteed thing of if you put in the effort, it will surely come, right? If you're not consistently being entertaining while you're putting in that effort day after day after day, the chances that that's going to work out of other people doing the exact same thing but better and still providing a more novel
you're taking it, you're taking it in the way that, like, am I giving advice to most college age people, right? If it's in that instance, then yeah, don't ever fucking stream. Just go to college or learn anything that's worthwhile, that you could see that's actually worthwhile. Um, and go ahead and do that because it's gonna pay off way more than streaming. That's just like saying, like, would you rather go be a fucking plumber or a celebrity? I'd rather be the celebrity, but being a plumber is more likely to be successful, right?
Yeah, I mean, plumbing is a fucking lucrative career.
Actually,
like a lot of people shame plumbers for like just for being, oh, I don't want to work some like shitty blue collar job like that.
You know what I hate,
what the
dude?
fuck, man?
You know what I hate? Realistically speaking, this is almost off topic, but I found out a little later because everyone, I got fed the same thing as everyone else: go to college, do the right thing, and get money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and don't go to trade school is what I hear so often.
Well, I didn't even know trade school was a fucking option back then, dude. I didn't know that there was a school to learn all this shit.
Right.
But okay, so I got fed all that bullshit, and I went down that path. I didn't end up liking my degree, and now I'm working on another one. But dude, if I learned back then, I fucking love working around my house, dude. I would fucking love to be in a trade. It's just right for some people. I mean, some people it's just their fucking dream job.
And it makes so fucking much money.
I'll probably end up just finishing it up as a hobby because I do like it as a hobby, and maybe as a job I wouldn't like it. But I didn't find out until late in the fucking game, which late, right? But I didn't find out late that I fucking love trades. I love everything about them. Learning, dude, if you just tinker around your house, it's just so fun to just like learn how things work.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
like, dude, people should stop fucking pushing the stigma that trades are worthless and that that stigma is so outdated.
Well, it's almost gone so full circle that we've gone so far into saying college is worth it that now trades are worth much more because not enough people are going in it, and everyone.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Also college is seeming to be worth less and less too.
This is correct, but no matter what, a college degree you can't technically say is worth it unless the field is proven. So you can't say an art degree is worth it because that field is never proven.
No.
But dude, trades have a fucking great track record of being really important.
Yes.
Yeah.
No matter what you need, you will always need a plumber. You will always need. You just will.
For me, like, I wanted to get into a degree path that I knew was at least somewhat reputable. Like, I got into computer science. And that's one that I know is always going to be good. But, like, at times I still wonder, like, what if I was to, have taken the plunge and just straight up gone into a trade, like plumbing, for instance? Would I have been further in my journey than I am right now?
I will say
Like,
this.
what do you mean by further in your journey?
What do you know?
I will say this real quick because I know.
Whoa, no. Let's take hidden.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you mean by further into your journey, right? If it's strictly like the money that you're making, perhaps, in fact, good chance of that, right? But as far as, I mean, there's certainly more aspects to life than just your, the amount of money that you're making. That's partially the idea as to why you go to college, is not just for the degree, but also learning how to think critically and learning about yourself as a person, in a sense, right? So,
if you're going to learn about yourself as a person, I think you could do that for less than $10,000 a year plus.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. And like, dude, I don't like college. Like, I'll tell you straight up, if my stuff doesn't work, I'm not doing college. I'm doing trade school. So
Oh, what I was gonna say, Trent, as to kind of your point. My friend, he's not good at college at all. Flunked out multiple times, and he ended up learning about. Ended up learning with $3,000 how to drive a truck, and now he works local. He doesn't even drive a big truck. He works local. He just delivers alcohol. He makes roughly what I would have made with my degree, and that was after a couple of months of work.
That your old roommate?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Be back in a second.
Yes, so it really is something that's completely viable for most people. It's just that not enough people talk about it. And there kind of is a stigma around it, but dude, I don't care about the stigma. If I'm making that fucking money and people are talking trash, fuck it. Let them talk trash, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's also a problem of well, I don't know how much we want to go down this rabbit hole. We can if you want, but there's a problem with how it's even viewed in general public education, and how there's almost like I imagine, and I could be wrong about this, but it's seemingly in high school, like my teachers at least were always pushing for do college in the classroom, do college in the classroom, always pushing about people that need to go to college, right? Mm-hmm. It's like college is a great solution, or it's a great institution for a select amount of people, right? But it's certainly not for everyone, and there's a huge push of like everyone needs to do this.
Well, I mean, because these teachers had to go to college, and they ended up seeing it worked for them, and they probably had friends in college that worked for them. I don't know how much they've been, shown around people in trade, and there is kind of just a weird stigma around it that has been long seated for I don't know how long at this point, since I've been in school. So it is something deep that if you want to look into it. I guess my thing is this, and I try to tell this to everyone, and I think I even said it last week. Kind of what Johnny put in the chat is that at the end of the day, it is how much worth are you giving to the world, right? If you have an art degree, you better be a goddamn good artist too, or else you're not giving any worth to the world. You're not. Someone is not worth paying you. It does not matter what degree you got. It doesn't matter what you learned. If someone is not willing to pay for anything you do, then you're not going to get paid, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as, do people want to pay for what you want? In fact, you can even think about what you want to pay for most of the time, or even think about the shit you don't want to pay for, right? Which is generally trades. I don't want to pay to fix this, but I have to, right? If you have to, that means there will be a job for it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
That's the way I like to. Anyone thinking about where they want to go in their degree, I like to tell them, just think about something that people want to do and that you could do reasonably well, and you will be fine. I actually think this goes into my whole rant about like happiness being overrated and shit, but.
Sure. Well, I'll say before you get onto that, like I'll say like, and it's not necessarily about just making more money, right? Although there's that element, but all money is essentially translated roughly as to the value that you provide to, well, the state essentially, or to the economy in general, right? It's about actually having something of fulfilling, like doing something of worth that's value can be measured to some degree by money, right?
Right.
It's not just like, oh, that an artist doesn't make any money. Yeah, it's that sort of thing that they are also not really providing any value.
Yeah, and even to provide value, you'd have to be basically top of the top, right?
Whereas yeah, well, I think there's like I'm forgetting. I'm going to blank on this and I'm going to butcher it, but I think it's something of like Price's Law or something of any sort of thing of creative industry that can be measured. It's like, so it's something along the lines of, like half, I'm going to butcher this. So say you get like a group of like 10 artists, right? Like half of or it's a squared root, I think, of like 3 of those people will be making half of the money or something.
Oh, no. You're talking about like the top 10% rule or something?
Yeah, the top 10%. Yeah, you're familiar with that. Yeah,
you're saying something like 20% of the people earn 80% of the income or something like that?
Yeah, that's the sort of thing, right? And that's not like from what I understand, that's something that's even like cross-cultural. It's not. It's almost like an unavoidable sort of thing. So yeah, you have to be a really, really good artist to produce value.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree.
What's up?
I personally disagree with that.
No,
To produce value.
He's talking
Able-
about monetary value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I disagree with that.
Okay, go for it.
Like with art, there's two ways to get a career or to make money. One,
Oh.
you have to be fucking bonkers amazing and like get
Just
like produce content that people will want and people will
Yep.
like they will search you out and you will be commissioned for those specific things and essentially freelance.
Mhm.
Or two, you get lucky with either contacts or with schooling and get into a company that will pay you. You're not going to be incredibly successful, not as much as that freelancer, but you're still going to be able to make enough to live off of, like 60, 70K a year.
I guess what we're saying is still both aren't very likely.
It depends on the school, but again, yes. Like you can get into an art career if you are going into the right things. Most people get into art because they're saying, "Oh, I want to do character design." Fuck that. Like there are 5 people who have that job, maybe. And like if you are wanting to get into art, you have to be okay with doing different types of things
Go
that you
learn,
wouldn't
like,
normally
doing
think
tattoos
of.
or something.
Or doing, graphic design, for instance.
Mhm.
That's a lot of things that people don't realize, but like the aesthetics and the psychology of like page layouts on websites, like that is an incredibly artistic field that a lot of people just don't think about when they're thinking about art, because they think about designing characters, designing mascots, and like that's definitely an aspect of art, but that is such a sought after field that there's not going to be that like supply and demand. The demand is way less than the supply.
Mm-hmm. And even for good supply, right? There's a lot of good artists now. Great and amazing that there's very few. But in terms of good artists, I could find anyone on Fiverr to do an image that I want.
Yes.
And as long as I'm not a big company, I don't need the best of the best. And so even then, there's a lot of competition. I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really beat the fact that if you want to go into these fields, it's going to be really fucking hard.
Yes.
Yeah. And even if you're in those sort of companies, you still, right, like most companies are still going to want to hire as good of people as they can.
Right.
I mean, game design is similar. It's a very creative career. And with that, there's a lot of people who go to like a game design school, like they go to Full Sail University to learn game design, and then they're not able to find a job afterwards because game design is the psychology of creating games. That again is a job that is way, way less demand than there is supply.
I will say this in the topic of streaming that you kind of said earlier. You said if it was a hobby, it's pretty good. One thing I do want to do here in the soon future is actually just stream a lot and just stream like playing SNES games with my wife or something. And it's not really.
Yeah.
I don't really care about who watches me or whatnot. I actually do think we're pretty entertaining. We're kind of just fucking idiots together, to be honest.
Yeah, but like it sounds comfy.
But what I want it most for is just like the memories and just to watch it again one day, like when I'm old or something. I don't really care too much, but it's just so fun to just like have it all together, just so you could watch it at some point later on. I think that's a really cool part of, because everyone when they want to talk about streaming, they're like, oh, I think I should become bigger and whatnot, and I'm like, dude, you're getting basically free access to videotape all your life and just keep it somewhere, and I think that's so fucking cool.
Well, that's why I'm excited to do the Breath of the Wild thing that I was talking about, right? Because the person that I'm doing that with...
that was actually a secret way to primp Taylor's chat or Taylor's stream.
Yeah, it totally is. You saw through me. Congrats. Man, I'm still a streamer at heart. Like the sort of thing was
Hold on,
like
Taylor,
I don't.
Do you have an ad read?
Yeah, sure.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Um, but no, like, yeah, I don't particularly care whether or not that ends up panning out and getting a ton of views. It's just a great thing because I'm going to end up putting that on my YouTube channel and looking back as a sort of way to have a more relaxed way to have a conversation with someone that I can actually, look back on, and also have something there to speak about a game that I have a lot of thoughts on. That I really do want to speak about, but that I have no intention on going full into the 100-hour process of making a video on.
Now, Taylor, I'll actually probably watch any of your YouTube videos, but that's one I just can't.
Oh, I'll fucking watch it. Like, fuck.
What, you don't want to hear me complain, or you don't want to hear me argue about how fast a stick should break?
Guys, I absolutely love watching people diving into games and doing basically video docs on how the game feels. Not a review, but a mini documentary almost.
You ever see
there's this.
You ever see? I'll say this and then I'll let you go. You ever see the channel that's about good game design?
Probably.
It literally says good game design, bad game design. No.
I'm sure that I have. Are you referring to?
I'll link one to you because I'm pretty sure you'd like it. But anyways,
Snowman Gaming.
Probably. I'll look it up right now. But in any case, go for it.
So what I was going to be talking about is this guy I ran into. His name is, I think, Uric Salad Bar or something like that. And he makes mini documentaries. Yeah, right. He makes mini documentaries that sometimes get really big, sometimes just sort of die in the water. And I think they're really cool. The dude only has around 100K subs.
Oh yes, but Snowman Gaming.
Gotcha. The content the guy puts out is very, very high quality consistently. I found out about him through a mini doc he made on Y2K, and where he talks about the game's failures and how the game was meant to be versus how it comes across. Yeah.
Okay.
It's quote unquote a postmodern RPG where it's meant to be paying homage to games like Earthbound and things like that, but it ends up sort of slapping them in the face.
Because I've never heard of this game. He'll straight up go over any game that he wants.
No, Y2K was a fairly popular game.
Really?
Yeah. But it was also incredibly controversial. It won an award for one of the shittiest games of the year. People often spell the game so it's Y2K, 2 spelled with Roman numerals, so it's like that. People often call it
Y2K. Okay, well, yeek.
People often spell it like this.
Yikes.
Yikes. Because
yikes.
The voice acting is solid, but oftentimes you get scenes where somebody's this is the place where my sister died. Right here. Right where we're standing. And the main character's like, hey, no one gives a fuck about your dead sister, man. We all almost died. Come on, fuck you. And he acts just so tone deaf and an asshole the entire time. He's supposed to be hated, and it made it into an experience where people did not enjoy what was going on.
Yeah, that sounds odd. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video on it.
I'm more interested in this game because I've heard of most Earthbound copies, but I've never heard of that one, so I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one either.
If you actually got the link to his video, I'm down to watch it.
Okay, it's pretty bad. The video's good, but the game is pretty bad.
Because I've even seen shit I don't know what, Lucy, is that right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that, but have not heard of this one, which is quite interesting. I've even heard of this small little game you might have heard of. It's Undertale.
What's that?
It's pretty shitty, honestly. And anyone who likes it might as well just end up gaming, give up their gamer card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the sequel to Final Fantasy II, right?
Hold on. I don't want to talk about two shitty games.
Is that anything like Deltarune?
No, see, Deltarune was a successful sequel.
No. Deltarune. Okay. It's a common mistake. Deltarune's actually a completely different game by a completely different guy. They have kind of similar styles, but the genres are completely different. They actually are nothing alike though.
Oh, I see.
Okay, real talk, real talk. Did you guys play Deltarune?
No, it looked better than Undertale though.
I didn't like it at all. It had
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
To me,
I
it didn't
enjoyed
have any of the charm, and it just had very small quantity. Which I get it was episodic, but
Did he ever make the second episode of that?
I don't believe
Not
so.
yet. It's supposed to come out soon though.
Oh, okay.
That's what made Deltarune.
But like the first one was also free. Like Deltarune was free.
Yeah, no, that's
To me, yes, Lancer was hilarious. If you're talking about that little small enemy, he was hilarious. But that game just missed so much of the character of the first one. It just felt like the characters weren't even fleshed out. Like no one really mattered. It was so boring.
Yeah, okay. So I should just say, like, when I say like the game looked better, right? What I meant is like it looked like the general gameplay loop looked better. But
Yes.
from what I
mean,
Undertale has a certain memorable charm about
do you
it.
think
I've never
it
played it.
advanced in how it should play? Like if that was the first game, I wouldn't mind it. I actually think the first game was perfect for what it was trying to do because it actually in the battles it advanced kind of what it wanted to do, and you could kind of see that advancement, and it was kind of cool. But if you're talking about gameplay, it was a little better. It just everything else was, to me, the feel of it, which is very important for a game like that, and like the characters just were so boring.
Yeah. I'll flex with that take.
Cause a big thing in a story like that, right? Well, a big thing for a game like that is the story. And to that one, I couldn't. I don't know what about it. I just couldn't get into it. It seemed very desolate for what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
I guess here's an interesting sort of question for you guys. What's the best story that you've seen in a video game?
Oh, that's hard, dude.
Yeah, that's hard because do you want a game story or just a general story, or you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of even artsy games that have a really good story, but they don't have. Or do you want lore? Like technically,
No, like
Five Nights at
specifically
Freddy's
like
is good lore, but it's not a good story.
Yeah, no, like an actual narrative.
I have my answer.
Go for it.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
What the fuck? What's that?
No.
Dude, that game is a fucking cult classic. Not many people heard about it, and if you download it on your computer, dude, shit is a buggy mess. But the game itself is a story about you being turned into a vampire in LA and then having to go through everything. There's a lot of moral decisions, and it really pulls you in. At the start, it feels very, very like, oh, this is like a dime a dozen made on the Source engine, kind of like kind of like Oblivion, but on the Source engine, and feels shitty. Sure, there's some good voice acting, like you have fucking Grey Delisle, you have Joe DiMaggio? Is that the baseball player, or is that the?
Yes, I believe so.
Who am I thinking in? Something DiMaggio.
In any case.
Yeah. Like the game itself. Sorry, the game itself is very, very immersive, and it feels really fun to go through. Like putting yourself in the role of that character and discovering the things about the city felt cool. It's edgy for sure, for damn sure. But Vampire is probably one of the best storylines I've played through.
Yes. Now, you didn't really go as to why the story was good.
Oh yeah, I don't want to spoil things.
Well.
Oh,
like the story itself, I can't do it justice. Like there's so many moving cogs that just pull together, and the end ties it up in just such a fantastic way that I can't really.
Can we get a premise more about like what's going on in the story?
Can you
Just
give
like,
us fucking anything?
You're turned into a vampire by someone who wasn't supposed to turn you into a vampire. The Vampire Society is like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, well, since this person broke our laws by turning someone without our permission, we're going to kill the both of you. And someone steps up saying, hey, that's bullshit. Don't do that. And in order... Yep.
I love Tokyo Ghoul.
I think one of the things that makes this game good is because I think it was also made in 2004.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah. Let me see. Bloodlines was released in 2004, November of 2004. And as you progress, just learning more and more about the different, like, the main story itself doesn't pull me in as much as the individual characters and just experiencing that world.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, no,
cheesy.
it sounds interesting. It definitely sounds like it sounds neat. Like I'd like to. Maybe I should maybe like watch a trailer or something, see what it looks like to see if I'd be interested or something.
So
But
you guys may have never heard of this small little gem called Lollipop Chainsaw. So if you haven't, let me refresh you as to why this is the best narrative ever told. Within
oh, yeah.
seconds of the intro, you really start to feel for this lady as her boyfriend, her high school boyfriend, his head is chopped off. And sadly, she ends up being a zombie hunter with the rest of her family as she cheerleads in the morning, zombie hunts by night. Her boyfriend's head is chopped off, but luckily for some goddamn fucking reason, he can still talk and everything. So she ends up strapping him to basically her butt cheek, and for the entire day, for the entire video game, he's strapped to her butt cheek as she glides around, killing people with the chainsaw. Totally still in her cheerleader outfit because she didn't really have time to change. And at the end of the day, she's able to defeat all of the zombies by killing Elvis. Elvis fucking Presley. Now, my actual answer isn't that bullshit. I don't even know why the fuck I said that. Beer really gets to me. Um, no, if I had to give my actual
Fucking hell,
answer,
dude.
if I had to give my actual answer, it'd be Heavy Rain. You ever play Heavy Rain? You know of it?
Dude, fucking sucks.
Yeah, okay. Comes from a guy who loves whatever fucking shitty game you just said.
Vampire's great. Dude, Heavy Rain.
Look, it's
Heavy
good to
Rain.
it's okay to have
like
a wrong.
I like everyone, dude.
It's okay to have a wrong opinion, but I understand that opinions can be wrong. Anyways, Heavy Rain, in terms of narrative, is really solid because it's really fluid, especially in terms of the very big decisions you make. The part that I find was bad. So for anyone who doesn't know, Heavy Rain is basically an interactive narrative where you go through this whole story of like a kind of a whodunit, what's happening, detective style story. Um, and it goes through about 4 storylines if I remember correctly, and it's very fluid, especially on the big decisions you make. And sometimes you don't even know you're making a big decision. But the only issue I have with that is that other than being a really good story and just kind of following all the way through, the ending is very choppy because they have something like 20 something odd endings depending on what you did. And I find that they really should have stuck with like 5 core ones and just did that and kind of had them all emerge into one at the end so that there's 5 really good endings. But the way they did it is that there's like probably like 7 different edits to the ending that could
Yep.
change depending on what you did. And so it ends up feeling like a really choppy mess at the end. That kind of does tell you what happened, but I feel like if they stuck to 5 or so endings, it would have been a complete narrative and probably the best one I ever heard.
I mean, like
I
it's
feel like
such
you
a
would
fucking
enjoy
bait and switch. Like, for those of you who have not seen Heavy Rain or have
Just
not played through
spoil it.
Heavy
I
Rain
don't
and do
think
not
anyone
want
cares about it.
spoilers, yeah, whatever, who do not want spoilers, please skip like 30 seconds ahead. Okay?
This is a live stream.
Yeah, I know, but like, skip 30 seconds ahead in the recording or close your ears. Anyways,
Dude,
the
if you
things
could
they
skip
fucking
30
did with
seconds
Shelby,
ahead, please contact me because I need it.
Yep.
I need that in my life. That'd be awesome.
So the shit they pulled with Shelby is so stupid. Like,
I don't think it was super stupid.
like him just looking around. Where's the origami killer? We need to find the origami killer. And then it's just fucking like we're in his head. We see him talking and doing these things that he would not do. Like it's the game does such a bait and switch. It's such a M. Night Shyamalan way that I can't like the game.
You could argue that it was just a style of saying like multiple personality disorder or some odd shit. You know what I mean?
But,
Is
like,
that built up at all as a thing that
doesn't
someone that
even-
has multiple personality disorders?
No, it doesn't. And like they never actually touch into that or say what it is.
Well, technically,
Just
if you
show
were
me-
a really good psychopath, yes, I get that you're saying they didn't develop it enough, which I do agree. But I mean, if you were a psychopath, you would need some kind of job that would conceal it, and at least being a detective wouldn't be too bad of a job.
The game is bad.
Okay, are you saying the actual game is bad? Because I like interactive narratives. You just have to see it.
No,
in the fact
I
that
love
it's an
I love interactive
narrative.
narratives. Dude,
Yeah.
I love interactive narratives.
So
But, like,
yeah, no, like the idea of
So
it's
games
something
like
that's very
Resident Evil
appealing.
5, anything with quick time action. No, I'm just.
I'm fine with quick time actions. I'm not fine with fucking
I'm
bait and
so
switches
mad.
like they did.
I'm so mad, Jose. I was actually gonna fucking joke and say my favorite game story, Evil 5, but you took that away.
I do like taking things away from Taylor. That is anything.
Yeah. Fucking
Honestly,
Mac
yeah,
man.
that's fair.
I can see why you don't
Um,
like it. I do like it as a narrative piece, but as a game, I
Yeah.
can see why you don't like it.
I really want to try, I really want to play some of those interactive narrative video games on stream sometime.
So just
Like, I feel like The Witcher is one that I really want to try out. The Witcher 3 specifically.
Oh fuck
'Cause
me!
it's-
Never mind. Fuck all the narrative. Fuck everything. Fallout 3. Still my favorite. One of my favorite games still all day. Probably top 3. Dude, I don't even give a fuck
Yeah.
about the main story. The main story sucks ass. Don't even fucking play that shit. But the world it builds on just all the side quests and all the main stories you find there, all the little side stories you find there, fucking amazing. It builds a fucking world around you.
yeah, I'll agree with that.
Like,
Yeah. I'm not as interested in Fallout 3. I think I've said this before, but I know next to nothing about New Vegas except for the beginning, and everything that I know about New Vegas has indicated that I really fucking want to play it.
It
Okay,
does seem
yeah,
that
play
if you're
through
a Fallout fan, you'd either like New Vegas or 3 more, and that 4 was complete and utter trash.
do you know what game has a great narrative?
Katana
What?
Zero.
Huh.
As you talk
Yeah, I
about this,
gotta-
I'm gonna go pee again.
Katana Zero is a fun game where you play as a samurai in a cyberpunk dystopian future.
It's actually called Katana Zero because there's 0 katanas in it.
No, you have a katana.
Oh shit! Well, fucking title lied. Goddamn.
The story goes really deep. It does a thing where you and the character are learning things at the same time as you play through it, and oftentimes you feel like reality is being distorted, but that's because it's being distorted for the main character as well. I don't want to dive too deeply into it, but it has to do with psychosis, drugs, shit like that, and it's very, very fun, and it feels good as you're discovering more throughout it. Like,
Yeah. It seems like an interesting thing. I'd like to look into it, right? But the sort of I always like harbor some like suspicion whenever I go into those sorts of stories because the capacity to just tell something that it makes or have a plot twist or have an idea that just doesn't make any sense, I find is really prevalent with that sort of premise for a story.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
it's always fun the first time through, regardless. So I definitely want to check that out sometime.
I mean, they don't pull any origami killers, if that's what you're wondering. Like,
I
Katana
actually
Zero
don't remember him
makes sense
having
the
a
entire way
Brooklyn
through.
accent. But...
It's not him. He's not the one who says it like that.
Oh.
Everyone else is just origami killer. The origami killer. Origami killer. It's so stupid.
Which
Okay, so
this should be an interesting tie-in. Which and then Taylor, I'll let you get to your question. But this might be a fucking long one. I'll just be straight up.
Wait. Has Taylor even said what his favorite game is?
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This is something of a generic one, and there's a massive asterisk that needs to be put on thanks to something in 2020. But The Last of Us, fairly generic sort of theme, right? I don't know anything about The Last of Us Part 2, by the way, so please say nothing because I do plan to play that game blind. I know the story sucks, but I still want to see it play out.
I mean, I guess it depends.
But Part 1 of The Last of Us, it's something generic, but it's a very well acted story in a video game, and I think it actually, like it hits us with the sort of weird premise, but then actually commits to taking itself seriously with a relatively nuanced character for video game standards, and Like, I think Joel as a MC in a video game, or as a video game protagonist, is one of the more interesting ones that really has been around, and it's
Yeah, I can't believe
yeah,
they put fucking Joel in a video game, dude.
I know Joel Joestar in the fucking video games. I know he actually yeah.
The game itself is really good though. Like I'll agree with that, and everything they do with the story feels very natural and makes sense in the world of which it's in. There are twists and everything, but none of them fall out of the realm of feasibility, and it's just a really solid, good story.
Yeah, and I have a lot to say about that ending, and I like the ending of The Last of Us quite a bit. I have a feeling that part 2 is going to make me not like that ending as much.
Who knows? Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
You wanna... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, actually, Trent, do you have any more
What's up?
topics on hand?
I have one, but I don't need to do it.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, leading off of that, what's your favorite story ever told by an anime?
Ooh.
I have two on deck, and I can't ever really choose, but I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah. I'm going
Okay.
to start with something that is very common, but I'm going to say Kimi no Na wa, Your Name.
Oh, I never got around to seeing that, but I know the idea
What
behind
the
it.
hell?
Hell?
Now.
Okay, it's so good. It's a
You can give us a
very
premise.
two people are swapping bodies. It's a male and a female. They're swapping bodies and trying to discover more about each other. The story dives really deep and really hits the feels, and they take a very classic trope and then they dive into it into a much deeper sense. And it's probably one of the best forms of animation and the best stories in animation that I've ever seen.
Okay, yeah.
Not the one I expected you to say, but okay.
Okay. Yeah, I have. Okay, so I know what the answer is because I mentioned this before, but it's just my favorite work of fiction in general. And I know some people have issue with it, but Fate Zero.
Okay.
I actually just can't watch that anime.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's certainly not for everyone. It's certainly not for
I
everyone.
can't ever watch an anime where someone is so goddamn OP. Like One Punch Man, I find horrible, but for
Yeah.
probably a different reason.
Yeah.
One Punch Man's a comedy.
One
Like, and they
Also,
treat the
you-
comedy well.
Yeah. Also, he saw one episode of Unlimited Blade Works and won't watch Fate Zero now. Actually, he saw
Really?
one fight from Unlimited Blade Works and now won't watch Fate Zero. Yeah, so like he just knows that Gilgamesh is in Fate Zero, so he won't watch it on that basis. But
Maso is Masto.
yeah. But so Trent, are you familiar with Fate Zero?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I fucking love that story and the ideas behind it, as far as the interpretation of the meaning of that as essentially a story that warns, in some sense, that's main theme is a story that warns of the nature of ideological possession by ideas. It's like that's basically something that's spelled out of a multi-layered ensemble cast with no obvious main character, right? Of having a bunch of stories differently playing out simultaneously in a web of characters that. Okay, I mean, yeah. So having
no
so
main character.
I said lack of an obvious main character. I know Kiritsugu is there, but hell, I think the main takeaway
is the main character.
You can. That's
Go
fair.
ahead, go ahead.
Kiritsugu. Yeah, he's the only character that gets backstory episodes aside from, I guess, Karya technically. But in any case, right, it's a bunch of stories simultaneously playing out, interlinked with each other in the vein of a classic Greek tragedy that warns in a sense of ideological possession, that has a great tone to it, and some of the best dialogue pieces that I've seen in anything ever, touching on a bunch of different topics. And one thing why I'd say Kiritsugu isn't necessarily the main character is that I don't believe that the moral of his story is the takeaway message from that work of fiction at all.
Fair.
I heard someone
There.
I heard someone scream in the background as soon as I finished talking.
What?
Fair.
I might have
laughed
heard your
'cause
dog bark. I don't know.
It was my dog, but because I had my mic on mute. But I just found it funny that Trent said fair. I
Fair.
guess you have an opinion. No,
No, I agree with it actually.
The only reason I can't watch that anime, and I keep telling you, is just I hate it when someone's OP, dude. You have to be able to be beat for me to care.
Who's OP in it?
Gilgamesh, arguably.
Well,
And you're not wrong, but also it's literally written after. Like, the idea is most people watching Fate Zero before it kind of took off in popularity already knew what the conclusion was going to be. That's the sort of thing of it being in the vein of a classic Greek tragedy, because the characters that you're seeing, Kiritsugu, in that entire story is a dead man walking. You know he's not alive by the events of Fate's Day Night.
yes. And come on, Stay Night is
Something.
yes. Like,
I like it for what it is, but
Gilgamesh technically isn't overpowered.
he gets killed by he just gets killed by a dude. So just some random guy. Some random fucking
Look at
person.
this dude. And let's be fair. Ryder from Zero is the best.
Yeah.
One
No,
of the best
I actually-
characters in fiction.
Yeah, no, I actually mentioned that I think his and Waver's story is the true heart and takeaway of the ideas presented in that work of fiction. But
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
yeah, and I won't bore Jose as to why, because I know he's not familiar with this. So if you want to talk about your favorite anime and talk about why it's Cowboy Bebop and
Oh, no.
and or Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, it's generally a tie between those two, and I kind of go back and forth depending on which one I've watched most recently, because I really like both quite a bit. Samurai Champloo, I find, is more of a realistic take on kind of like just straight poverty living, and like you're gonna get tales that aren't very nice, and people just fucking die, and it's just very sad, and it kind of just sucks for most of it. But shit, that's most of real life, to be honest. Most of people living kind of live a shitty life. And they kind of explore that in a lot of different takes, and I just enjoy it quite a bit. I could watch that easily, like within a couple days. Every time I run through it, it's just watching through it like a cannon. A Cowboy Bebop is a little harder to digest because it's a more detailed story, and while they're around the same length as far as I remember, Cowboy Bebop ends up to be just a little bit denser in how it does everything, and its style's denser. It's so nice, the way it incorporates music into it, and the way it tells its story. Everything about it is just really, really, I want to say dense, and it's quite amazing for an anime. It still has tropes in it there, but you have to remember how early it was, and the fact that it was fairly new in everything it was doing. I
Yeah.
fucking love everything about that anime. I would put it in my top 5 shows of all time, to be honest. Samurai Champloo, while I don't have as much praise for it in terms of enjoyability, I enjoy it just as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, no, I have another one, I guess, that the older I get, the more I like it, because I actually didn't like it as much when I first saw it.
What about if you say Steins Gate?
It's not Steins Gate. Actually,
Inuyasha? No, I'm just...
no. I'm almost positive Jose's not familiar with it, but Trent, you might be familiar with it. Psychopaths, specifically the first season.
Oh yeah.
No, you
Yes,
told
yes.
me
When
to
you get
death
into the
about
later
this stuff.
seasons, absolutely not.
Yeah, the later seasons are garbage. But I'm something that explores the role of the individual within a dystopian society. It's a story that you've maybe seen before, but what I like about how it's written is okay, so like the basic premise is that your capacity to do crime is measured by essentially technology before you've done it, and you're treated as a criminal just by having the capability or the temperament of someone that is able to commit crime within this world. With the perspective being a main character that is new to the police force and how that affects this world as well.
You're right. I loved Winter Soldier.
But no, the thing about that, this sort of dystopian society that just about any rational person would dislike and detest on a pretty fundamental level, what is so great about this is that it's written as competently as it could be, despite everything that is terrible about it, it still ultimately produced a result that's better than anything ever seen. And so that sort of problem there, and how it is written as such a powerful force that gets taken down and deconstructed throughout that show, and its overall takeaway of essentially, well, okay, its takeaway could be interpreted as a few things, but of how, essentially the sort of, well, there's the element of the role of the individual, still something that's never going to be taken away, but how it communicates all these different ideas and has counters for a lot of those ideas as well, and some of the flaws within the logic of all of the characters involved. It really is something quite beautiful.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. So,
Can I give you a hot take?
speed round. Oh, hit it.
I think most anime suck, to be honest.
That's true.
Like,
I mean,
the
That's
far
true.
majority of them just are so fucking
Yes.
formulaic.
I like
It's gross.
I like the 90% rule. 90% of everything is shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
So let's. I want to kind of speed around this, go through some like very popular animes, and we could just be like, yeah, loved it, or like,
I will say
kinda
that I
cringe,
probably
bud.
watched the least amount of anime here. But yeah, go for it.
I
Totally
probably
fine.
watched the most amount of anime here.
All right, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I
Pretty
hated
good.
it.
One of my
think it's pretty
favorites.
solid.
Actually. Yeah.
The only
It's
reason
less focused.
Okay, go for it.
And
Speed round,
he's gonna.
speed round.
Yeah, he hates it because of Alphonse's voice. But
That shit's
it's
trash.
less focused.
Japanese.
That shit
It's
is
less
trash.
focused. Yeah, it's less focused than a lot of my favorites, but it's possibly the most cohesive long form story that I've ever seen.
Trent, to add to that, to where you said watch it. Yeah, I think watching in Japanese, you're a fucking retard because you don't even know if the voice actors are good.
I mean, no, you can still feel their emotion. What the fuck are you talking about?
We
Dude,
can start
they
this week.
over emotionalize. That shit's dumb. Their acting is horrible. Their acting is horrible.
No,
Their acting is straight trash.
Right now.
no,
Dude, they do like fucking 1500 style acting where you have to over emotionalize everything. No, that shit's trash. Fuck it.
no. Americans try to copy that, whereas Japanese,
American
like,
acting is far better.
no,
by a
you're fucking
mile.
wrong, dude.
No, actually, I'm
You-
about to just kick you. No, I'm just kidding. But
like in a lot of animes, like you're getting into experiences where the main characters are going to be, again, as you were saying, overacting things and just screaming. But like that is not what like a majority of good anime does. So
Yeah.
for example, like the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I think that the English dub is solid. However, the sub is way better. Like easy.
Disagree
Far
on that.
but
But,
I
the
don't
art-
see how you could possibly say that without actually knowing Japanese voice acting. Like I can't see how you could fundamentally say that without like really getting down into this like deep of it.
All right. Well, speed round. Round 2.
All right.
Ping pong the animation.
Oh my god, I fucking love that show.
I
Holy
knew that was
shit.
Taylor's shit, but I have never seen it.
Dude,
All
do you see my fucking profile pic right now? That's Pico, dude.
I know.
I really. Oh yeah, it's a
All
little
right,
ping pong ball.
um,
Look at that.
Yeah. So something that I had said, the thing I said was my favorite. Your name, Kimi no Nawa. Number 2 for me is Bakuman. Not Bakugan.
I thought
which
that
is
was
the
Bakugan
battle.
for a second.
No. Bakuman. Are you guys familiar?
No.
Pokemon, that's the yeah, I'm familiar. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's a story about 2 guys making a manga. Really good. Highly recommend.
Interesting.
Let's see. Gurren Lagann?
Never
Pretty good.
watched.
It's actually one of my more favorite ones. Just because of how it's fucking stupid, but at the same time actually has like a genuine message and some ideas that are pretty interesting. Some of the episodes that people hate, like the episodes where they kind of get to the political shit, I actually kind of like, and especially like the takeaway. And then when they just decide, fuck it, let's blow up the moon instead.
Trent, I feel like you should say your opinions on these two.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Have I not been?
Yeah, I didn't hear your thoughts on ping pong.
On any of them.
Oh. Yeah. Ping pong is okay.
Oh,
That's my take on it.
okay, that's fair.
I really don't have much more to say about ping pong. Like it's, I love the rotoscoping. It's okay.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I'd talk about it more, but speed round.
Yeah.
So, do you know Gurren Lagann, Jose?
No, not at all. I told you I've watched the
Okay.
least.
You'd probably enjoy Gurren Lagann. It's meant to be really hype and just one up itself the time after time again and again and again and again, and it gets fucking ridiculous.
I will say this:
and-
as much as I rag on how bad most animes are, I do like just mindless animes where it's complete action, like I don't know, fucking Bleach or fucking Goku and shit.
Yeah, you'd love Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Let's see. What about? Well, I had to say it at some point. JoJo's.
I need to watch more of it.
Yeah, same. My wife actually even recommends it. Everyone actually recommends it to me because they're like, "You'll love this."
Yeah, as long as you're not taking it seriously, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, I just saw like one scene where this guy. So like, let me describe how stupid and amazing this scene is. This guy is like getting mugged in an alley, and then the main character steps in. The guy's getting mugged at like gunpoint, right? And then the main character like steps in with like a soda bottle, and then uses the soda, unpops the soda bottle with such force to send the cap right at his hand and break the guy's thumb.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I think I've seen one scene from there, and it was just completely beating the shit out of some woman for no reason.
Sounds accurate.
And
so
that made me want to watch it.
the thing that happened, of course, it fucking did, Jose. That scene, you might not believe this, Taylor, but he did that because he breathed good.
Yeah, no, I know about Ripple and all that shit.
Okay, yeah, he just breathed good. He breathes so good he can do that.
Fucking Wii Fit mains.
All right, sure, yeah.
Evangelion.
No.
I need to rewatch it again. Okay, Evangelion's weird. I don't know if I like it, but it clearly has too much to say for me to have only watched it one time.
Fair enough. Jose?
Oh no, just never watched. I told you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that redhead person that Joel always posts about on Facebook about like, are you fucking alone on a Tuesday night, right? That
Oh
bitch.
yeah.
Yeah, he's from that show.
She's from that show. It's amazing, but I think it's too far up its own ass to actually see the light.
Yeah,
Interesting, but yeah, okay.
there is certainly that element to it. I'll let you know later. I'm gonna rewatch it eventually. The one thing about it though is like, if you're really paying attention to it, it's a show that will make you uncomfortable.
Yes. One last one from me. Red Line.
I really want to watch it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's a racing movie. It's entirely hand drawn, and its shit is beautiful.
I do like.
Actually, everything I've seen about it would make me think that Jose would love it.
I do love
Yeah,
hand drawn.
I'm
I do
sure.
love racing.
So let me go ahead and get like one of the scenes that's just gorgeous, like one of the loops. I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay. So, do any of you guys have a favorite fiction book? Or nonfiction.
book. Holy smokes! I haven't read fiction in a minute, mostly because I don't find them particularly useful. It's literally for entertainment.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at my. No, see, because even most of my books aren't fucking fiction, because it'll be like, I don't know, personal finance in your 20s, 30s. There's Damned, which was okay. I didn't really find it super interesting. Sleight of Mind, I haven't got. No, that's not even fiction. See, I just don't read a lot of fiction nowadays. It's just hard for me to get into because it's a bigger time sink than movies, and I don't find it often as rewarding.
Yeah, there's something true about that.
Like
I
when
guess
I find
so.
a really good book, yeah, oh yeah, it's worth it. But
Yeah. So I guess one thing I've been reading a lot more, and I've been reading the books Game of Thrones was based off of. And the more I read, the more I hate Game of Thrones.
yeah, I hear it completely veered off path. Somewhere towards the
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very sad because it got bad right as I started watching.
I will say this about a good book. I read really slow. Like I read probably slower than average even, because I like to digest, and sometimes I'll just read the page again. I don't really understand how people could just read a page and be done with it. That doesn't click in my head the same way. Uh,
Yeah,
so so a good book is like a real time investment. Like I'll be up all night reading a full book, like a whole day fucking just reading, and I might be done where someone might be done in like I don't know, like 6 8 hours or something. Um,
Yeah.
so a complete book for me is gonna take like a whole freaking day to read. But
yeah, I
when
know.
I do find that, and when I'm so invested in it, I will literally go all night. I can't put it down. I'll be like, "What time is it?" And it's like 8 in the morning, and then I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta go get breakfast."
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I haven't read. You said you're into fiction books now? Like that's kind of amazing. What do you?
Well, I mean, I'm reading the Game of Thrones books right now, A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm planning on reading the Witcher series after that. But I read like an hour every day. Just part of my like daily routine now. Um, and I cycle between fiction and nonfiction.
Okay, cool. If you want nonfiction books, I got like a whole fucking bookcase right here of them. But fiction is much harder for me.
I have like 5 or 6 books that I have bought that have been just waiting for me to get through. So I'll let you know when I get through those.
Yeah, but if you want like a good, no, I'm just kidding.
And I have like a copy of Beyond Good and Evil on my shelf right now that I really want to get around to
Ooh,
reading.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to see what
All
actually
right.
what. I have apparently a drink catalog, which isn't mine, by the way. It's my wife's. She was in like some kind of class. Oh, it's quite funny that I have that.
So this shit I just sent.
Ooh.
It's gonna be pulling you up from the middle of it. Make sure it's on the highest definition, but like,
I
oh, this
will
isn't even
watch
gonna be
it.
60 frames, is it?
I will watch it afterwards. Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to show you the animation
Okay,
and
nice.
just
Mm.
like watch 30 seconds of it.
I will watch it. Well, because I'm pretty sure, because I told you I'm running it on a crappy laptop, so I think I'll lose
Yeah,
frames for that. So I'll just
that's
watch it
fair.
after the stream. For anyone who
I
wants to see its red line, the anime.
very good quality.
I actually read A Fault in Our Stars. The book is far
Gross.
better than the movie. The movie sucks dick.
Yeah,
Really?
The movie has such horrid. Oh, so when I first saw it, I was like, "Wow, this is great," because I was a little fucking. Well, actually, I might have been in college at that point. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm disgusted. I ever thought that movie was great because when I went back, that movie, the acting is so fucking horrible, dude.
yeah.
So goddamn horrible. And they skipped out on a couple important parts, but
Yeah. Well, that's actually an interesting sort of thing, right? So, do you guys get this at all of things that you liked as a kid, you no longer, or when you were younger, you just don't like anymore? And also things that you didn't like in terms of like fiction, shows that you watched, books that you read, like stuff that you disliked, or like, oh, wow, this is a hell of a lot better than I remember it being.
the
Yeah.
quality shit ends up being quality over time. Like I don't know, like SpongeBob seasons 1 through 3. I can go back and watch any time of the day because they're just smart. They're well written. They're fucking hilarious. Or Toy Story 1 through 3. Well, actually, all of them
Yeah.
actually. I could watch any day of the week because they're really, really well done. Something like I don't know, Land Before Time 20, fucking blows.
Yeah.
Trent,
What's up?
what you remember anything that used to suck? I'm looking at my books here.
As far as books that I read through, I need to reread through it, but I was reading the I believe the series is The Sword of Truth.
I haven't heard of that one.
Fantasy novel. I really want to get more into like popular fantasies. Like I really want to read through Discworld, for instance.
I'd recommend a song. I'd recommend A Song of Ice and Fire, but I don't recommend waiting 10 years for it to be finished. So,
Didn't he say if he didn't do it by some certain date that they could kill him?
that they could lock him in a room and force him to write it.
Oh, there you go.
And no, he did not finish it by that date.
Oh no.
I have
Yeah, I'm
cognitive
not happy about
psychology if you hate yourself.
Oh, sure.
It's actually very statistic based. No, you would probably not like it.
I'm very interested in psychology stuff right now, actually.
No. It's not very digestible, is the thing.
So,
What sort of background knowledge would I need to read it?
If you really fucking wanted to, you probably could. I don't think anyone would want to though.
Okay, give me an idea of what it's like.
Let me go through a couple pages to remind myself how much I hate this shit. But go for it. Go for it, Trent.
So, how do you guys feel about the Ubisoft announcements today?
I didn't watch it.
Oh,
You told me
There-
a
there
little
was
bit
a
about
few-
it. But okay,
Yeah.
okay, real quick. Taylor, it's literally going through the very basics of how cognitive psychology became a thing and the early ongoings, and it's so goddamn boring because it goes through every initial test, which was fucking dumb because it was the initial test. It's so I can't recommend this to anyone.
That sounds really interesting to
It's
me.
a
I'm not
school
gonna
book,
lie, dude.
It's a school book. It's horrible. It's not well written. It's just what some fucking asshole wrote that he knew he could sell to millions of people. No, dude, school books suck. They're not digestible. They're goddamn awful. Anyways,
So pretty good book, yeah.
I'll give it to you if you want, but I don't think you'll ever finish it.
Jesus Christ!
Trent, what were you saying?
Where?
I got mad
So,
or
guys,
something.
How about the Ubisoft?
You were telling me they were making a Breath of Wild style game? What's that about?
It is a third-person action adventure game where it's like Greek mythology, and you play this hero that you create named Phoenix, and it seems okay. That's the best compliment I have about it.
Why is it
Graphics
Breath of the
kinda-
Wild style? Is it just open world?
Open world and just sort of cartoony. Like it looks kind of like Fable 3 ish, with like the short people with big heads, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Wait, Scott
And-
Pilgrim versus the World's re-releasing?
Yep, that was going to be one of the other ones. Scott
Fuck!
Pilgrim versus the World is getting a re-release. It's
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, that game has been so hard to grab, and 10th anniversary getting a re-release. That's incredibly hype.
You know, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, 3D Mario, the re-release kind of sucks dick.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, because hear me out. And I saw this on Reddit too, but it's like they're re-releasing all the 3D games. They're missing Galaxy 2 for one. What the fuck?
And Galaxy 1.
Yeah.
No, they have Galaxy 1 in it.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they definitely do, dude.
It's 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh, you're
That's-
right. What am I doing?
they're doing
Yeah, you're
almost
right.
no enhancements, just small graphical ones. It's gonna be
64 is getting a lot
$60.
of enhancements, but yeah.
It's gonna be $60, and when compared to things like fucking Spyro and Crash, who came out
Yeah.
with way better graphics, like Nintendo really did not give a fuck about this one.
No, they didn't. It's going to be a collector's
Yeah.
item anyways, though.
It's I mean, it's
Which is
60
also
bucks.
horrible.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
I
60
agree.
bucks of a collection of games that are all valued at under 20 bucks.
Yep. You're not wrong.
So,
I'm not incredible. I'm not going to buy it, but like I understand why they're doing it.
yeah. Also, that limited release thing, that was totally actually going to be limited release. For real, guys. We mean it.
Do you think it's not going to be?
No, not at all.
So, how about that remake of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time?
So, Scott Pilgrim's pretty cool.
Yeah, like the Prince of Persia remake just looks so bad.
I never played the original, so.
Look at this. Look at that picture. Does that look like modern day graphics?
Wait, hang on.
That's
Wait,
not
what
like
the
in game.
fuck?
There's no way that's in game.
No, that is in game.
That's so
Here's
bad.
here's what a fan made on the same engine.
That looks horrible.
Oh, that-
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Well, the second one's good, but the first one's
Yeah.
the second one just
It's
looks like Tomb Raider
potato.
style. Yeah.
Like
Wow.
like everything from this, it just looks so low quality. Like that looks like the Tomb Raider games released in, 2011,
when they released
2008. The 360 Tomb Raider games.
That looks like 2008 standards, dude. That definitely
Dude,
looks
that
2008.
looks like the Underworld movies.
That doesn't even look. That looks like they paid someone on Fiverr to make the picture.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
Like,
I find
I'm not happy.
you know one of
Dude,
my biggest complaints
shit
about
looks like
modern day
this.
gaming. One of my biggest complaints about modern day gaming is that games are coming out, and it's because they want their player base to be along for longer, and I understand that. But games are coming out with less and less content under the guise that they will release more content for free. It's like, motherfucker, that's the full game. I'm not fooled here. That's the full game.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just wait for your Game of the Year collection because I'm not buying this shit right now and waiting. I'm not gonna wait for some subscription style shit where I just get the game later.
Yeah.
It is very annoying. And Nintendo's even falling into this with a lot of their games, actually. But I just don't understand giving less and then wanting to. Because if it's a single player game, that makes absolutely no sense. But if you're going to be buying stuff, I guess that makes sense in terms of a business aspect. Yeah, good. It makes sense. But I don't feel like they're fooling anyone under the guise of this is free when your game was bare bones compared to freaking 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a fan of it.
One of my biggest complaints of modern day gaming.
So can we talk about Scott Pilgrim or?
Yeah.
I've
I'm
never
hyped.
played, so I'll listen.
It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's a beat 'em up based on based on the comics of the same name, and I fucking love those comics. Trent, have you read those comics before?
I have not.
Have you seen the movie?
I have.
Okay, so yeah, the movie has problems. A lot of people really fucking love that movie. I enjoy it for what it is. The plot is kind of but the plot of the actual comic books, one of my favorite stories actually. Not like my favorite of all time, but it's pretty fucking good. But also just the style of that game. Oh, it looks so good. It sounds so good. The soundtrack's amazing. Fucking Anamanaguchi doing the soundtrack. But I played this game a few times. I actually played it with my cousin. But there's kind of a problem of it's a beat 'em up where you have to upgrade your stats. So it's like a leveling up thing. And I kind of wish they didn't bother with that, like the leveling up your stats thing, and just had you level up to learn the new moves instead.
I'm okay with it. Like, I feel like Scott Pilgrim should have some RPG mechanics.
Yeah, well, I mean, having the RPG mechanics where you level up to actually learn your new moves, I think was fine enough.
All right, fair enough.
I think for most beat 'em ups, because I've played both style, old school, and then newer RPG style ones, for it to consistently be interesting, it needs something like a progression system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I go back to like Streets of Rage style games, and while they were fun at the time, just because they were little mini things, if I were to go back to it now, it would not hold my interest for longer than 30 minutes.
I want to just go back and try and beat Battletoads.
That's
Battletoads
more
is
than a
fun.
beat 'em up. That's like masochism.
Is it?
But if you were, people say like TMNT, was an amazing beat 'em up, and at the time I could see why it was. I just can't go back to it and play it. Whereas I could play like Super Mario World.
Hang on, is Trent about to be that guy of, Battletoads isn't that hard?
I mean, no. Battletoads is a hard game.
Although I will find that the relative average of gamers is lower than we probably expect.
Yeah. Well, people say Turbo Tunnel's where the huge difficulty thing of that game comes. It's like, no, that game gets comparatively much, much harder than that shit.
Well, if you're playing two-player, it's within the fucking going down the fucking cavern.
Guys,
Two players,
come on.
Battletoads is trash.
Battletoads is just the Dark Souls of games on that era.
Yeah, I really felt like it copied off of Dark Souls.
There goes Taylor.
You got that, man.
Gonna call him back.
Um,
Hey, welcome back.
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I just had to go drain the rest of the alcohol that I could find off of the empty bottles.
Oh, that's fair.
what?
Just that was a joke. That was a joke.
I'm aware.
Okay.
It just hurts me. It just still hurts me a bit on the inside, so I have to drink away my sorrows on this. And I don't have much liquor.
So, Do we want to talk about some other things?
What do you guys got?
Nairo was banned on Twitch. Finally.
You guys want to talk about some other
He
things?
really wasn't.
Sure.
Okay, real quick. He really wasn't banned before? No?
No, he just got banned 4 hours ago and is no longer partnered as well.
Really? Wow, that's quite amazing that... Because he was...
Which
he
sure,
must have
there's
been
sweet
receiving
time
money
on
until
that.
now, right?
Yep.
Wow, that's... I guess probably realistically what happened is because of their terms of service, they couldn't fucking terminate him until now. I'd assume is the issue.
Maybe no. They should have been able to do it. Like Senpai still isn't banned on Twitch.
My gosh, that person is horrible. I don't even know that. Holy shit! Out of all of them, she's probably the worst.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any
disgusting.
question that her stuff's by far the worst. Like,
Holy
yes.
mo-
At least
okay,
of the
to be fair,
documented
they're all
cases.
bad. I don't
All
need
right,
to,
let's stop
downplay
talking about this. Let's stop talking about this.
it. Thanks for bringing
We
it
all
up,
agree.
Trent.
Hey, it was just a news thing that popped up on my feed. Okay.
Dude,
So,
I will say this, and you guys
God
might
damn
add
it.
on to it. No, not about this
Oh,
topic.
okay.
Fuck, Jesus,
Okay.
let's get off that shit. I think there was a topic last week where I was like, "What the fuck are we talking?" We were talking about that weird lolly shit, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude? Let's just get off this." Dude, okay. I will never stop saying how much I fucking hate Reddit, because I
Yeah.
really do. Holy shit! If you ever go on like any type of political subreddit, it is dog shit, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
You will
Like, it's
never
everyone
find good
go-
conversation. You will never find
No.
a single good Like, if I were to go to any fucking subreddit, at least there's like one or two like people that I could see that at least want to talk about the subject.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Oh my god, dude. Politics is just straight up a leftist thread. It's just left.
Yeah.
It's just left leaning. And not only is it left leaning, it's just straight up fuck Trump.
Yeah, no, like that's all it is. Like Trump
Mhm.
coughed today during his speech.
Dude,
isn't
it's
he an
not even
incompetent
like-
president?
I want to talk politics. I want to see what everyone's position is.
Yes.
I don't care if
Right.
it's for Trump or if it's for Biden. I just want to see what their
Yeah.
positions are. Right now,
And I want to see logical arguments. Personally, I am not for Trump, and that is my
that's
take.
fine. I don't
Yeah.
care who you're for. At this point, I'm voting. Okay, I'll be straight up. I'm voting for Biden just because of how poorly Trump handled this.
Yep.
Basically the worst thing in a while in our country.
Yep.
It was handled very poorly, and I can't deny that. And I'm generally lean conservative. I will be straight up. I generally lean
Oh, same.
conservative. But he handled that so honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Before this year, I thought he would have just been reelected, and it would have been easy. Because the economy was good, and people had jobs, and that's all people care about. I'm not gonna lie. People don't care about anything else. People don't vote for other shit. In the mass majority, people care about their jobs and their money.
Yep.
And I thought he was just going to get reelected, and I probably wouldn't have had too big of an issue with it. I did have an issue with how much he hated immigration just because of how I see it affected other families.
Yep.
But I can understand where he's coming from. However, he handled this so poorly that I'm not even for him. Now, I'm willing to go anything. I'm willing to read anything. I'm willing to read if it's for Trump, for Biden. Just make it an argument, not whatever the fuck our politics have turned into. Now all I see for Democrats. I literally don't know what their positions are, dude. All I see is like, fuck Trump. He's so stupid. Anything he does is stupid. I can't, like you said, I can't believe he coughed wrong. My gosh, I don't care. I just want to see what your positions are. If I'm voting for you, at least let
Yeah.
me know where our country's going. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I don't know. Like on that sort of thing. I'm actually. So I guess like I don't normally vote because I don't know most of the issues, so I don't pay attention to that. Although I will likely be either voting for. I mean, it doesn't matter who I vote for. President Washington's going to go blue, but I'll either be voting for Joe Jorgensen or Joe Biden. So
Joe Jorgensen. I keep hearing that. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, obviously.
No.
it won't. No, I mean they
But
don't. They
I
literally
do keep
don't.
hearing that, so I
Libertarian
kinda wanna
Party.
hear-
The Libertarian Party literally doesn't have
So,
ballot
like-
access in all
wait.
of the states. So
So last time in the last election, Trump barely won, and
Right.
that's
Technically, he didn't even win the popular vote.
correct.
Mhm.
And a lot of people that election was the one that had the most third party votes as
Okay,
well.
Sure.
If you want, like, I fucking hate that we are currently a bipartisan system because,
yeah, no, most people with
technically
sense hate that.
but we are. We need to have a different style of voting, like how Australia does things. But I digress. That's not what I'm wanting to push
Right.
on right now.
Because that's a whole can of worms.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, with the last election, we were shown if we vote third party, we get bit in the ass.
Well,
Like,
I mean, I think it's a multitude of things. For one, people didn't want to vote Hillary because they really didn't like her as a candidate. Even Democrats didn't
yes.
really like her.
Yeah.
For two, I think it. I actually might just be straight up wrong on this, but I think it was a lower turnout thing just because they didn't like both candidates, and in lower turnout, it tends to favor Republicans pretty heavily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I was just thinking about that for a second. I actually have a political buddy of mine, very politically savvy guy, and I was talking to him about this. So, from what I've heard from him, and I've never known him to be wrong about anything in the sphere of politics, at least in regards to like data and analytics, is that sort of idea that lower turnout is better for Republicans isn't actually true, or at the very least, it's not proven to be true.
Hmm. No, I don't actually know. To be fair, that is something it's just rhetoric I see. And from everything I've seen, it tended to be true, but I don't know the actual stats on that. So.
But yeah, no. So voting for a third party, right? Yeah, I don't know about like, it's odd, right? Like some people see it as throwing away a vote. I'm not so sure necessarily I agree with that, because if I was voting, I'm not sure. Like, if I were to take myself back into the 2016 election, able to vote with how I am now, I almost certainly wouldn't vote for Clinton either, even though I dislike Trump quite a bit.
Yeah.
But like in some sense, right? It takes away votes from. I think. Well, okay, like if you're likely someone that's going to vote libertarian, right? You have that sort of temperament. Is you're probably between conservative or what's up?
No, just the image. Sorry. What the fuck is?
What the fuck? God damn it. Yeah, but no, if you're someone that's libertarian, you're likely more leaning towards Republican generally,
Really?
although it varies.
So,
Um,
I'm
yeah, go on.
voting. I'm voting for Biden, and I honestly think at this point it really doesn't matter because Washington will just be Democratic. I don't think anytime soon it'll be Republican.
No.
So,
Yeah, we're not a
when I
swing
say
state.
my vote doesn't care, I truly don't think my vote matters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I'd personally say that I am, like, fiscally right, but socially left.
That's almost all human beings, to be honest.
No, it's not.
No.
Really?
No.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
okay. When you're talking about like, what actually gets passed in terms of being into law or actually mattering, what ends up getting passed is fiscally right, socially left. Like over time, socially left does end up getting passed, and over time, fiscally right ends up getting passed
Fair.
more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying with that now.
Yeah.
Sorry, what I was gonna say. Actually, I guess most of us, to be honest, are just centrists with a slight lean.
Yeah.
Not most of us are like the people they show on the news and the people that we probably hate.
Yeah, well, the problem with our two-party system, and especially in its primaries, is that it particularly panders to the radicals of the demographic. So in the primaries, who decides who gets elected, it's going to be the most Republican and the most Democratic's the wrong word, the most like hardcore liberals
I mean,
that
I
are
don't- I
voting
disagree
in
with
those
that.
primaries.
I don't think that's true. Yeah, I don't think that.
Biden is definitely not the hardest.
He's definitely.
Dem.
Yeah,
more
that's what-
middle-leaning.
No, that's definitely true. Biden is the sort of person that got but as far as the first stages of the election, as far as the people that tend to end up coming to power, and yeah, because what the Democratic Party has been trying to do these past election cycles, and specifically this one, is trying to get more of the conservative vote by getting a candidate that is more moderate and that can kind of passes that, which is why the idea, like, critics of both parties, what they'll do is they'll have the equivalency of Biden and Trump are just the same person, which isn't really true,
No,
but
not at all.
Biden's certainly a much more moderate candidate than a lot of the other left-leaning ones. But you can even look at to the other people that were even on the that were in the primaries early on, right? Of much more progressive candidates, and it happened to be that Biden was the one that got picked this time. But yeah, the early stages of that bipartisan
Well, even
system
over time,
have a problem with that.
even over time, I mean, it tends up being the more centered people. I really don't see too many like far-leaning ones that actually get voted in. I mean, they might have a platform to speak on, but I don't see.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wish
Yeah.
Andrew Yang made it further.
dude, I was gonna say actually, I loved. Okay, the thing I loved about Anchor Yang is while I didn't agree with everything he said, I did find him to have number one new and interesting points, and number two, he literally like if you saw his website, everything he said, every single policy was it gave you a why, it gave you an explanation of it, and it gave you an explanation of every single policy he had.
Yeah.
Like, over any other candidate, dude. I still to this freaking day find it really hard to find out what Biden actually wants to run on.
Yeah.
I don't know to this day what Hillary even ran on. Like, to be honest.
Yeah. That's because like as far as how you swing an election, pandering more towards the emotional state of people, right, is a much more powerful influencer. That rhetoric that means nothing is very important, unfortunately.
I do agree with you, and I do get what you're saying, and I hate that it's especially true now, especially after fucking Trump was able to do that just for like 2016 and just rail everyone and kind of win off that.
Yep.
I don't find that always to be the case. Like I find, well, I guess it depends on how you see it, but I wish that wasn't the case. Obviously, like any other intellectual, I wish that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens to be that like most people tend to vote what their temperamental proclivity is. So
I am able to switch between parties, but I don't particularly ever like both.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's odd. Like I say I'm for like some libertarian policies and for some socialist policies. So
Yeah, and that's fair. Most people are. Like straight up, most people are.
yeah. Well, so whether or not most people are, I mean, there's an interesting sort of thing that we got to think about here. Like we're all different people, right? But that we're all part of the like we all started to know each other, at least you and me, like from me knowing both of you guys. I met you guys through Smash, right? I met people, the sort of people that are in my social circle are people with similar interests and likely similar temperaments to me. So, right, the people that we know are likely going to be, or the people that we choose to be friends with, right, are likely going to be people that are closer to that.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
fucking constitute like I don't know, like Ahmed or like fuck, I forgot his name, but whoever went to psychology with me, they have different temperaments, but I mean, they were around our social circle.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess if you're saying the people you continue to be with, yeah, they're likely to be like you.
Yeah, that have at least similar worldviews, right?
Right. One thing,
Temperament might not necessarily be the right word there, but yeah.
one thing that's making it really hard for me to actually vote Biden, and I still wonder this, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just vote George Jurgensen or whatever, is that he's doing very weird progressive stuff that to me doesn't seem to make sense other than trying to gain a vote. For instance, at one point he said we will have a female vice president. And to me that's like why? I don't care. Okay, I should preface this by saying I don't care if we do. But it should be off of merit. It shouldn't just be because you decided or fucking just made it happen. If the first female president happens, I will be very disappointed that it's just because Biden said it will happen, not because, you know, someone earned it. That bothers me so much, and some people are applauding it and whatnot. And the one he picked was fucking awful. She basically said,
Yeah.
I agree with everything that all the allegations against Biden, especially the sexual misconduct ones. And she keeps advocating for really weird shit. And I don't like her at all. And it makes me really...
Yeah, well, I've talked
really
about
hard
this.
to vote for him.
So how a buddy of mine has described Kamala Harris is someone that seemingly is someone that will subscribe to whatever idea it is that furthers her political agenda. That seemingly, there's a lot of things that are seemingly contradictory of which she stands for. right? So the idea, the kind of problem is like, well, if she like wins the or if Biden wins the presidency, Biden dies in office, and she's the president. It's like, what do you stand for? I don't really know.
Right, and that's just a big issue with, you know, Trump. As much as you hate him, you kind of know what he stands for. To be fair, any president's gonna lie and change some things because either they have to or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Well, the best way.
you kind of do generally know what he wants. To
Yeah.
this day, it's very hard for me to find out what the Democratic Party wants. I hate, I guess to the core, I hate the idea that we're just giving them a free win.
The Democratic Party.
Yeah, I hate the idea that we're just giving them a free win. The fact that some votes are going to come in before we even have a fucking debate. It just disgusts me as an American.
Yeah. There's a ton of problems with our system there.
As much as I would
I'd
disagree
agree
with
with that.
as much as I would disagree with the Republicans winning, I would fucking die laughing if they did, because I'd be like, "Fuck you guys, you deserve this."
Yeah. I suppose I can. If you guys are interested, a buddy of mine actually made a electoral college map as to what the projections are right now.
Dude, after 2016, I don't think you should believe any polls.
He literally called the Trump presidency the day before it happened.
Really?
Told me exactly. Yeah, he told me all the data, exactly why, and then it played out specifically. Not like obviously he got some things wrong, but even by the measurement of about how much he won by, like, yeah, this is actually a guy that knows what he's talking about.
I will give a small update, because, yeah, I'd be interested, but I'll give a small update to everyone. The Texans 13, Chiefs 31.
Oh, damn.
But if you got a map, yeah, you could toss it in there. Because I'd actually be interested. But I find most polls are just poorly flawed, like just very, very flawed.
Yeah, and he spoke to me why, like the night before the Trump presidency, specifically about why that was and the problem with those polls.
I don't think this zooms in. Oh, it does zoom in for the chat. All right, cool. So we got safe, likely, lean.
Oh wait,
still,
that's
top.
sorry, that's the wrong map. That's the map of the fucking Senate.
Okay.
Hey, I'm back. Are we still talking about political shit?
Yeah.
Of course. No.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
He's
I'll
showing
be
us a
back
map,
then.
but we could.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I accidentally uploaded the wrong thing. Here's the actual one. If I can get out of this.
Is this essentially a projection
Yeah.
of how the
what
election is it likely to play out in our
Yeah.
current time?
At the moment.
Okay, so this is looking like Democratic win so far.
Well, he literally has it right up at the top.
Yeah, I see it. And they're saying Florida is likely to be a toss-up. Okay, so he's saying there's a decent toss-up, but it's likely to be a Democratic win.
Mm-hmm. See, the problem is, especially earlier, and we'll have to see how this plays out, but the biggest problem with the Republicans for the Electoral College is that if Texas ends up managing to swing to the Democratic Party, the Republicans have no chance of winning.
Dude, you know, everyone says that. I don't believe it. It's not going to happen.
For Texas going Democrat?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's looking less likely now.
It's just straight up not going to happen, bro.
Yeah, there's no way that's going to happen. Like, it's
like
Texas.
Everyone likes to say it, and I know everyone likes to drum it up, but it's just
It's Texas.
Yeah.
But like even if all the Democratic leaning states voted Democrat, then the Democrats are going to win the election.
Mm-hmm.
The Republicans need to get a lot to get back onto it. Like, they need to get all the toss-ups.
Some where they could win, like Minnesota, Minneapolis, especially now.
Yeah, but like the blue triangles that are pointing to the center there are showing where the vote needs to get to for you to win the popular vote.
Right. And I'm saying that some of these that are even leaning Democrat, I could see not going Democrat, like Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
At least a few of these I could see going the other way, which would sway it. I think it will be closer than people expect, at the very least.
But if any of the middle ones are, let's see how many is needed to win the election. Calculator.
Oh, In any case, while he does that,
270. It says 270 to win
no,
on
yeah,
the
that's.
thing, dude.
I mean, that's a known thing.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Oh, that's what you meant, bro. It's always 270.
I
Yeah.
don't know that, man. I don't give a fuck about politics.
All right, I think we should get off
Didn't
the
you-
political talk though, unless we're gonna add something extra.
Yeah. Can we?
Yeah. Can we add something extra, or can
No,
we get
no,
off?
Can we
of
get
it?
off the
No,
topic?
unless you guys want to go into the deep shit, but.
Nah.
Nah.
So,
Maybe
game
another time.
development.
We're not drunk. I'm not drunk enough for it.
So I've
You're not
been
even
working
drunk.
more on game development today.
Exactly.
You've been working
Yeah,
more on
yeah,
game
I heard.
dev. How's your game dev going?
It's going actually really good. I was able to solve a problem I've been working on for a while. For those of you who don't know, I've been working on making a rhythm game that's a turn-based RPG. It sounds fucking wonky, but there is a plan, and I should be able to have a testable actual beta out here soon. I have been trying to figure out the logic to actually make the turn-based and rhythm part of it work. So, like, you know, the entire hook of the game. And it was taking the longest time, and it finally clicked today. I was finally able to put it together, and now I have a
And now
saying
you made
that
Paper
when you
Mario.
press what?
And now you made Paper Mario.
Similar but different.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this.
Hell yeah.
You're saying you're gonna give the beta out to a few people to play on streams, yeah?
Yeah.
So-
It's not going to. Well, I'm going to be giving an alpha first. That's literally just a proof of concept to see if it seems fun. Where there's going to be very minimal graphics, just actually playing the game. There'll be like some stick
mechanics.
figures up on the screen, and mechanics. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
say you're
that's
doing
it.
this on your own, and I believe your wife is helping you.
With art, yeah.
Yeah. You know, even Miyamoto and so on and so forth, they need a team around them to kind of help them out. Is anyone going to be helping out with maybe like story concepts or?
I'm sure I'm going to be spitballing off a lot of people for that, but mainly me.
All right, so you're going to be going like what, like Toby Fox style?
Hell yeah, making great games like Deltarune.
Yeah, man. And that Earthbound fan hack that led to the Sans theory.
And
gotta talk about that
him making fucking Homestuck music.
He made
I wouldn't be
really,
surprised.
I will say
Yeah,
this,
I think-
his music.
I think he did-
His music on the first game, fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, Megalovania was originally in the Earthbound ROM hack, and then used in Homestuck, and then used in Undertale.
Yeah.
What have you guys taken so far? I'm 3 beers in, mostly Michas, and I think I'm good for the night.
Yeah, I just had a strong drink, an old fashioned again.
I hate
wasn't-
edibles. They're very inconsistent.
Yes.
It wasn't
are.
6 shots, was it?
No, not this time.
Last time this madman drank 6 shots.
All right.
I one
need to
time
take a
did-
leak.
I did that on stream one time. I did 6 shots in an hour.
I thought you did more than that.
Jesus Christ.
No, I mean I've done like 10 in an entire stream, but no, I did a try not to laugh stream where every single time I laughed, I took a shot.
Wow, you really couldn't contain it, huh?
Yeah. Dude, it was bad by the point that I was like, I went upstairs to get like some crackers, right? And I was fucking laughing at Big Bang Theory.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, it was that bad, man.
you might as well be laughing
Oh.
at, I don't know, 2.5 Men. I thought that show sucked.
2.5 Men had its moments, but
Dude, that
Yeah.
show was just like sex jokes, right? Every time I watched
yeah, I
it, it
don't
was
know.
just sex
So long
jokes.
since it's been so long since I've watched it, man.
I will say this: the reason I'm not drinking too much, which 3 beers, depending on who you are, but tomorrow is my sister-in-law's 21st birthday.
Oh, hell yeah.
And starting the day off, I'm just gonna take her down the street. There's a bar. We're gonna get her a margarita, and it's not gonna stop until the day is done.
Have fun, my dude.
From the
Jesus.
moment I wake her up, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, let's go get a margarita," and then from that moment on, it's gonna be just downhill from there.
I'm so mad that the bar's closed as
Trent.
soon as I turn 21.
Trent,
I believe he's AFK.
because I was gonna say he actually has a good 21st story. I know this for a fact. When I'll say this, you know, I guess we'll get to your 21st because it sounds like yours was a little disappointing, but for mine, we went to a club, we drank a lot, and I did some shit I shouldn't have done, and I'm still alive. And that's the end of that.
Was this the one where you? Was this the one where you told a story before of certain things that you would not necessarily want to do?
Ever again? No.
Yeah. Okay, I thought it was that one.
Yeah, probably that one. I mean, there's 2 of those stories that I know of that I told you, but probably the one
Yeah.
you're thinking of. Trent.
It's
Never mind.
so
Taylor.
dumb, dude.
Taylor, what was your 21st like?
So I just went to Fujiyama's with my grandparents. My uncle was there, bought me a shot. It was a good dinner. It was good food. And then I went home. And then I started streaming a few weeks later. And then 2 weeks after that, the bars closed. And then 2 weeks after that, I made my affiliate, played Dark Souls. Then this guy convinced me to do a shot every single time someone subbed. And yeah, that's how I ended up with 60 subs at one point. So.
Hey, man.
Did you
I
die?
still need to be cut a check for that.
No, I didn't do 60 shots. I didn't get 60 subs in that night, but I got 20, I believe.
Did you die?
No,
I
he didn't
did
end up
10.
finishing.
I know I did 11 shots, and then I said, okay, I owe these shots. So, like, literally for the next week, every single time I was streaming, I did 1 shot and said who the did it for the person of the name of the guy that subbed, like
Horrible.
reading out.
That's
who
actually
subbed,
great.
who the shot was for. Yeah.
That's
so
hilarious.
Trent.
Huh?
We were going over 21st birthdays, and I kind of just did a quick recap of mine because I can't say too much. And Taylor went
God.
over his general 21st fucking year, I guess.
Oh, I don't like to
Trent,
relive that.
Trent, I know you have a good story because you've told me this story.
Uh,
Can you give us a, like, even if you don't want to relive it, just give us a
no,
rundown.
I'm fine with it. Night of my 21st, I was working at a local, kind of like Applebee's place, and I went into the bar. And my manager, who was behind the bar at the point, is like, "Hey, you can't be back here. You're off the clock." And I'm like, "I can." And I showed him my ID. And he looks at me like, "This says today." And I'm like, "Yes, it does."
Oh,
And
no.
he says, "Sit down, boy."
Did he say
And
boy?
He did. He often called me boy. It was very offensive, but whatever. So he left. And then he comes back, and in front of me are 4 separate shots. And he's like, "This is a 4 horsemen. This is the first drink that you need to have after being 21. I'm like, "Is it good?" And he's like, "No."
Mind you, anyone who does the 4 horsemen, they're very disgusting.
So I did it. I took all 4 of the shots. And for you who don't know, 4 horsemen are the 4 named liquors. They don't work together. So you have Jose Cuervo, you have Jack Daniels, you have Jim Beam, and you have the other one.
Sure.
Some type of rum?
In any case.
Yeah. Let's just say Morgan. So you take those 4 shots in quick succession. And that was my start. Over the next hour, I have about 20 shots of liquor.
Oh my god.
And I leave. My buddy's driving me around town. I need to meet up with somebody else, so we go to Denny's, because that's where we're meeting. And I thank the people. I go ahead and have myself a gin and tonic when I'm there. After I have a sip, I say to the people who bought it for me, "I'm sorry, guys, I can't have much more." Like the people at where I was working. Oh, absolutely. It hadn't hit me yet. It's starting to hit me at this point. I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys. I'm really not feeling." And they're like, "Oh no, it's okay. We get it. No worries." So I leave early. My buddy's driving me around. I'm like, I need to eat something so that I feel better. Drive me through Taco Bell. So we drive through Taco Bell, and we're going through the drive-through. I order a quesarito. And I lean out the window and I puke.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy looks at me. And we're at the window now to pick up items. And he sees the person walking. And he's like, "Well, we're not going to get it now," and just drives off. and drives me back to my house while I'm just leaning out the window and just acid painting the town. And like, oh my god. Next thing I remember, I'm waking up in my bed, and I don't think I was hungover because I was some sort of magical being back then, I guess. But yeah,
I think it's called being 21.
exactly.
I will tell you this.
So-
I got recounted this story by his very disappointed mother.
Yep.
Oh, that's so good.
So yeah, that was my 21st, and it was an experience and a half.
Would you
Have you-
tell your kid to do something different?
Yeah, don't be an idiot like me.
Yeah, but they're 21.
Don't be an idiot like me.
Okay. Trent.
What's up?
Because this is now interesting. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you guys want to do this because I know a couple stories from you guys that would be interesting that I could just ask you guys to do, or we could play some kind of game out of it. But I don't know what the games are, and also I don't know if I want Taylor to ever make me tell any of my stories because there are some I just can't tell.
I mean, I can just say like vaguely the story and just not like elaborate further.
For instance, I have Trent being held at gunpoint. I have
I know that one. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
I
that was an interesting story.
I know a lot of stories
What-
I can make you guys tell, but I don't know how to make a game.
Oh,
out of it.
come on. What stories could you possibly have about me, Jose?
Most of them causing you to not have sex.
Yeah.
There was one where, okay, I will say this. At the time, there was one where I literally, there was a scenario where somehow it happened, but Taylor was able to literally kiss a girl and smack her naked bare ass, and she went to his bed, and they were there at night, and yeah. Anyways,
Nice.
and the job wasn't done. There was a fuck it. I'll do the whole recount. I'll tell them for you. Fuck it. And then if you want to add on, whatever. But there was one where Taylor had a girl that was high and he was high and they were in a bed, and she told him, "Hey Taylor,
Not in
did you
bed,
know? Did you know? You are now." And,
Okay.
She told him, "Hey Taylor, did you know having sex while high is really awesome?" He's like, "Whoa, really?" And then they didn't have sex.
Mhm.
There was a time where he went to class instead of having sex at school because he thought he would fail a class for some bullshit.
This is all correct, yeah. So yeah, that,
Yeah, these are awesome stories.
do you have any other stories? I mean, like it seems to be I know you have. I can't recall. Like there's got to be more interesting stories than the ones that have been told so much about me failing to lose my virginity.
Of you?
Yeah, like I'm
okay.
sure you have better stories because I can't think of any
There
off
was
the
one
top of
where
my head.
you
Right.
kept hanging on to a girl for a long time, even though everyone told you not to.
Come on.
And you basically got double.
I said interesting stories.
You
Jesus.
basically got cucked.
Don't bully him.
No. Am I wrong, Taylor?
Yeah. So you got other stories?
This is on stream.
This was a fun time. This
I
was
mean,
supposed
I have a
to be
lot
a
of embarrassing stories too, but shit, I could give you my embarrassing stories if you want to counteract that. I mean,
Jason just put in the chat.
huh?
Yeah.
Did
Even
you
in
see
that
what
situation, Taylor would somehow not get laid in the case of him not being the white Xbox here. Back out of
Hold
the
on,
picture,
I still
Jose?
have, yeah, hold on. You said Taylor wouldn't get laid.
'Cause he's not the white Xbox.
That's pretty good.
That's funny.
Oh god.
Okay. If we're doing
I'm not feeling
non-bullying
great.
Taylor stories,
No, I'm fine. Well, okay, yeah, man. Okay, just go on.
Because
We should hit a few more things, and start to wrap up. I'm not feeling real great.
Yeah, that's fine because I do have to wrap up here soon. Probably like 30 minutes at least.
I got
But,
Chinese food ready.
I have to go make food.
Gotcha.
Let's see, because a lot of our stories intertwine with the old group, and I don't want to just throw those stories out because, I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. See, that's the like kind of tricky thing as well, right? Like stories that's like, man, I really don't want to like just like I don't want. It's like something different, like fucking Trent saying like, "Oh, bullying," and it's like, I mean, dude, if I like actually give a shit, I'd say like, "Hey, don't
Yeah,
tell
I
that
know, I
story,
know.
man." Like, but like with some of those people, it's like,
but
man,
telling other
they
people's
probably,
stories, yeah.
yeah, it's like they probably really wouldn't want some of these stories to be told. Like,
The one that I always tell you about that cracks me up, I probably would never tell.
yeah,
But actually,
yeah.
after we end this chat, I could probably tell Trent because that shit's fucking hilarious.
So let's talk about something else real
I'm
quick.
trying to. Okay, fuck it.
So
we
how
could just
how
bring
about
another
the
subject.
so you know the Pokemon like actual Pokemon, not the card game, and the competitive scene, like with Showdown and shit like that, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys hear about Game Freak banning Pokemon in the game?
What? What do you mean?
Game Freak is banning Pokemon in Sword and Shield.
What do you mean Pokemon? Banning Pokemon?
Like some of the Pokemon. Like Sword and Shield legit is banning Pokemon in Series 6.
Yeah, they always do that.
Yeah, they tend to ban overpowered stuff and
Do they?
mostly legendaries.
Not okay.
I know-
So what you're talking about is now they did it to I think the top 10 used Pokemon, which is interesting.
I think so.
Because it kind of like make it forces you to use lesser used mons. But they have always banned mons. That's not particularly new.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I think a
VGC
big
tends
portion
to
of-
have, well, VGC's rule changes from year to year. It's like sometimes it's like you can have like 2 legendaries on your team. Sometimes it's like a strict no legendary, no
restricted,
mythical policy.
unrestricted,
Okay.
so on and so forth.
Yeah.
As far as VGC goes, I really only played like OU Smogon rules, and which is very different.
Oh,
Yeah.
very,
In it?
very, very different.
Yeah. So I didn't know
big
that
Dr.
VGC actually had bannings.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, it's odd. Like, that's one thing. I know, Jose, you watched the How Good Was X Pokemon Actually, yeah? All right, I guess he doesn't.
Jose, are you
Well,
there?
Trent, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, he went pee. I've seen some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as much as I like those videos and they're very well done, I'm more interested in how the Pokemon did in VGC, considering that that's like the official sort of competitive format that people use that actually has like regular tournaments,
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
mind
I
you
see
that
what
I
you're
don't
going.
actually really like VGC too much. And I don't actually like OU too much ever because they make it really center based, and VGC itself is just a really weird format.
What do you play? You?
Anything from basically all the other formats.
Okay.
Ubers.
Uber sometimes
Uber?
because it's just jank, but
Anything goes.
oh gosh, oh gosh, no, I don't even. I wouldn't dare.
Anything goes is so silly, dude.
Anything
Is.
goes is like you're gonna be baton passing a fucking EV.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, the most satisfying thing is going on to Anything Goes and beating a team of 6 Arceuses with like just a silly group. Like I'd love to do like baton pass, belly drum, swords, and whatever the fruit is that raises your speed, and then
Slackberry.
baton passing over to Magikarp and just having him
Fucking bounce on
uh,
people or something.
not bounce,
Flail.
flail. Yep. And
Yeah.
then just like sweeping a team of 6 Arceuses from a kid that just like, I'm gonna build good, strong Pokemon.
Or some dude. Yeah, you get like 6 Primal Groudon or whatever. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't like. It's just such a weird format.
Mega Rayquaza.
I think I had like a thing where I did. I think I had one where I just did 6 Victini with like one particular. They all had just like one particular attack, and it had like some contrarian ability or something. I forget how it went.
Okay,
but
contrary.
you-
Yeah, that's a thing.
You best know that I love cheese. I love doing silly shit. Like every time I play,
What was it?
every time I play any type of Pokemon, like the video game, I'm always gonna be doing something like fear or something like that.
Or literally using a Pyukumuku.
Yeah.
Dude. I thought that mon was good until I realized it literally can attack you. Anyways, yeah. Me and Trent, for anyone who doesn't know, we played in tournament and practice matches. Well, actually, mostly just practice matches. For this format, and he played me with this super weird jank stall set.
Yep.
I think he even had fucking that Togedemaru, which is an annoying set,
I did.
actually. Togedemaru, if you don't have like knockoff, is actually very annoying to deal with. But anyways, yeah, you played like the most jank stuff. I remember you using a Togedemaru and just like, I don't know, what was it, like recycle, sturdy, endure, endeavor, something like that. And then Pikumuku, which just does fucking toxic counter block. It's just a really weird set. I don't know. Yeah, if you want any semblance of a good game in Pokemon Showdown, you're gonna want to be playing like LC to UU. If you want to play OU, you can. You just have to understand that it's gonna be a much more center-based meta, just because of how their bans work, and that it's gonna be very stall. Like it favors stall a lot more than offense.
I thought it would change from generation to generation based on like how good stall teams would be.
You could say stall teams aren't that good, but if you want to get to high rank, they're probably the easiest way to do it.
Yep.
They're the most consistent, at least. Like, if you want to play offense, most of the times you can do good, but you have to have decent reads and you have to have a decent understanding of the game. Whereas stall, it's very obvious what the player's going to do, and you either can or can't beat it.
Yeah. And
You
a lot
guys
of
ever
people
played
don't have builds for it.
You guys ever play chess?
Yeah, I'm bad at it.
I played it once and I was okay, but it was one time, so who the fuck?
Yeah, I always kind of wanted to get into. I know like Pokemon's like different than that, right? But I know like the idea of just like a strategy game, right, where there's no real challenge in the way of input. There's something appealing about learning those kinds of games.
I don't mind. Well, I mean, you could technically say Pokemon's that, right? It just has more.
Yeah.
It just has RNG,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I mean like
So-
chess is like just basically just strategy.
Started getting into Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing Astaroth.
I could never get into those style games just because they feel very slow.
Really?
Yes, like Soul Calibur, like Tekken, just feel very, very slow in comparison to something like Smash.
I mean, that's fair, but you also got people like Johnny around here.
Hey, we're complaining about Johnny. Sorry, I zoned out for a second. What'd I miss?
Well,
we
no,
were
we're always
talking about
complaining
matches
Johnny.
taking forever.
Oh yeah.
I was just making
Johnny.
We got people like Johnny over here.
All right, we do have to wrap up here pretty soon because my wife is coming home and I have to start up some food. Any last topic? Go ahead, just shoot, just anything. Go, Trent, go.
How do you guys like feel about cats?
Oh,
Breath of the Wild. Okay, new Hyrule Warriors thing.
that's a whole 20-minute story. I hear it's dope. I didn't get to see the trailer yet.
Oh no, I was talking about like real cats, not like the movie.
No. I don't think you understand. I have a whole 20-minute story on this.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's an event. It's an event, and it's something that needs to be built up.
It literally.
So-
I have people waiting to hear this story. Like it is that.
Yeah.
requested.
It's. So
I think I'm
Hyrule
just
Warriors.
gonna post this and then pull one.
All right, cool. So, Taylor, I guess that's the end of the chat. How do you anything you want to pimp out your stream?
Follow me on stream at. Okay, bye.
All right.
Thanks for having me on, dude. It was great. And yeah, this is pretty sick.
All right. See you.
Taylor_Howard.
Take it easy. Later.
Late.